think different, so I think it's relatable as well. I think different too. So what's his different look like? You know?
Right. So it's just something that just came to mind because it's true to me. I just
It's
think,
definitely, yeah.
yeah,
Anybody who knows you knows you definitely are an abstract thinker. That's not a bad thing.
yeah,
Where's my brother?
right.
Maybe
Tagging
send
him
a
in
text
just now.
message because maybe he doesn't realize that he needs to follow that link.
Right. Once I get everything set up, this whole thing is going to look completely different.
I think this is pretty cool. I'm
Yeah.
totally slurring because I got my tongue pierced yesterday.
Oh,
Uh,
that's what happened.
yeah, so if I sound weird, that's because I felt like doing something. So
You
that's
go.
why.
Oh, look at this.
What's up?
There he is.
I was sitting there looking. I was like, I didn't know what was going on. Then it said something about a display name.
Yeah.
Oh, so you could see us?
I couldn't see y'all.
Oh. Hi, Chad.
What's up?
You want me to go put my Nike hat on so we can match? I got that same hat.
I mean, I think it's only right.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to.
Oh man, so we all up in here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Chad, you're about to be getting old soon, aren't you?
Yeah, unfortunately.
What, like
But
34,
fortunately,
33?
34.
34. Okay, I was right.
All right, so I
Yeah,
want
get this thing
y'all, you know
popping.
what I'm saying, to y'all coming up in here, coming to this first edition of this podcast is I just think
What's
different.
that sound?
It's that intro music, baby. You
Oh,
ain't ready
okay.
for that?
I don't hear it loud.
That's that intro. You know what I mean? Hey, let it ride for a minute. Let me hear that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
turn it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right, shout out my man Spider for that. This is what I like right here too. And people with that. Oh, what? Like, wake up. It's a lot of fun things, man. You can put it, that fake laugh, all that.
We don't need a fake laugh. You're funny. I'll laugh for
So,
real.
what do you think?
And shit gets spooky.
Like, what do they think? I don't know. So, a year ago, hey, man, we had a conversation of I was gonna start a podcast. Now it's exactly a year later, and we starting a podcast. We all up in here. Year later, your mom, you know what I'm saying?
I'm a
That's new.
whoa.
Because at the time, you was just going into the Halloween party, remember?
It was
Getting everything ready.
today.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I remember that.
Yeah, see? Now, your mom.
I'm
And
a
it's a major
mom.
deal. A
And
major.
his, yeah. Put him. Do you have the drum roll?
Yeah. Where he at? Where the drum roll? Nope, that ain't it.
No, you need to put him.
There we go. Yo. So the reason I'm doing a podcast is because over the years of my life, I've been involved with sound, audio, video, graphics, some of everything. Been just always a person who always just wanted to use my arts in whatever way I felt was cool. And since graduating from the Los Angeles recording school, going in there, and feeling like I was supposed to be some studio engineer or something like that made me feel a little type of way because I don't really think I really want to be a studio engineer. That's not really my thing. I
Yeah.
record a person and track them and whatnot, but I talk. That's what I do. So I'm a sound engineer. So this is sound. We dealing with sound right now. So I'm right here doing what I'm supposed to do in my sound world. And week by week, everything is just gonna come together and get better. Man, I'm gonna have different people on here as far as military people, talking to them about different experiences that they had in the military, as far as combat and just personal life and how um, it is coming back from overseas, being in a war and militant situation to come back home and to get into your everyday life. That's a lot of stress, a lot of mental health issues that go along there. So I figure, why not talk to these people, because people want to know what's going on. Also, I want to talk to upcoming people that's doing anything positive. Really, that's the one of the main focuses that I wanted to have a podcast for too, is to talk to people who are up and coming doing anything. I don't care if the next thing you want to do is be the world's best jump roper. You
Are
know,
you gonna try to gear that towards just black people, or you aren't like trying to be like race specific? You want to reach all people?
I'm reaching all people because God put us here,
Yeah, absolutely. And
and
in
the
regards to your, I'm sorry, I gotta like say something because you mentioned something about the military. I think it's so incredible that the number of homeless people were in the military to start. So I think that would be something interesting for me when you're speaking to people who are in the military or who are dealing with PTSD or whatever. How does that transition happen? How do you go from being paid, fighting for the country, benefits, and all of this to now,
being homeless.
yeah,
oh, good point. Not to
because
tune
that's like
into
a
that.
really big thing, right?
It is. And unfortunate. It's a lot of
Yeah.
veterans stuff just out there, or just hey, what's good? Like you go
That
fight
is crazy.
for your country and you fight for your team, and when you come back, it's like, all right, dog. You'll say go back over there. Thank you. You'll say go over there. You get 1 day
That's
and
wild, really. I ain't
figure it
never
out.
really look at it that deep. I just see people that it would show where it's people that used to be in the army or something like that, and they over there with a sign, "I'm hungry," or I ain't really look at it that deep. That's crazy.
I
Yeah.
mean, to be honest, I kind of put it in the back of my mind. And coming from Flint, Michigan, you do see a lot of homeless people, a lot of poverty,
Yeah,
right? I moved to Texas, and the area I realize now I was kind of like in the hype of it all. It was beautiful, pretty, all this stuff. Then last year in September, my boyfriend and I moved to Fort Worth, in this area that we're in.
see the other side of it.
We see the other side. I'm talking every time I leave my house and I go to the main intersection, they have a sign there, no soliciting, because they are there regularly
Yeah,
every day. Like, you
I
know,
saw something like that when I went to when was it? I think it was like 2015 when I went to Miami. I seen a
oh yeah,
whole bunch. It was a pretty side, of course, where you going down to like I don't remember what it's called, like by the beach, and then there was another
oh
part
yeah.
where you just seen a whole bunch of homeless
In
people.
Miami, it's in Miami, of course, you're thinking South Beach and Ocean Drive and all of
Yep.
that stuff, but what the slums is called in Miami is called the pork and beans. The poke and
Yeah.
beans is what they call it.
Yeah.
And it is definitely poor folk. And it reminds me of when I was in California visiting you, Uncle,
Right?
because California is super. What do you think when you think of Cali? Glamour,
Yeah.
celebrity, Hollywood, whatever. I ain't never seen more
You know,
homeless people.
PRO is almost like the capital, if not the capital of like homeless people,
Man,
which is
sorry, I had to
unfortunate.
like chime in on that when you mentioned that, because it was like if I were to have a conversation with a vet, that is something that I noticed a lot. Is
I've thought about that one time. I've sat there and gave people money, and I always wanna pick somebody's brain. That's
Right.
the first thing that comes to me. Like, how are you in this situation? What happened? What you trying to do to fix it, or any of that?
Yeah. Also, Uncle Jimmy, I shared the link so people could tune in to this. It's on Facebook right now. So I
Oh,
don't know if it'll show you if people tune in or how that works, but at the bottom
they
of my
go.
tweet,
Yeah, it's only about 10 people that could come in here and check this out live
And
and
I
direct.
just deactivated my Facebook.
okay, because I tried to tag you. And Uncle Jimmy, do you still have yours or no?
No, it's gonna be back activated with this podcast situation. I
Yeah,
just
it's
have to
very
step
important
away
that you stay tuned with the social
and
media if you're trying to do this type of thing.
and I had to step away so I could come back with a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Why'd you deactivate yours, Chad?
I don't know. I do it all the time. I like to go into hiding and
Yeah.
then come back, and then I might do it again.
They're going hiding.
Uh-huh.
It's different for me because the internet is something where I started. The internet for me is different than it is for a lot of other people. For me, it was interesting, it was new, it was dope because it was a way for me to just talk to anybody I want to talk to anywhere in the world. Like you could just reach out and boom, like talk to somebody. And at the time, I was, what 13, 14 years old on the internet. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, it was fresh. We talking dial up. We talking sitting here and wait for the
Slow,
thing to connect. And as soon as you get
super
on,
slow.
it's dun 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 dun. You got
Yes, I
That
remember that
that
too.
AOL and
AOL,
oh my
Instant
god,
Messenger, Black Planet.
golly.
all that. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about that, when you think about Black Planet, for instance, I mean that was a page a lot of people had early first. You know,
Was that the first Tinder?
98.
That was
Nah,
the first.
nah,
I think that was like your
Wasn't
first
that like Tinder?
nah. That was like Facebook.
I'm like, it was kind of like Facebook and
Yo, it
all
was
of that.
like
It was
first
like a
Facebook.
social media for Black folks.
Yeah.
I thought that was one of those. I thought I had one. I thought it was like a dating type of.
You
Now
was on your
that's the
internet dating.
misconception
That might
about
have been
the
something
internet.
else. I don't know.
That's the misconception about the internet that people like to give off, man. But to be honest with you, Black Planet, along with Asia Avenue and Mahente, they were all owned by the same people, which they was all
Where's
set up
my
the same way.
birthday?
Mahente is that was the Latin Black Planet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
If
then
I would have
Asian
known,
Avenue, was the Asian Black Planet.
I would have been on that too.
What, Chad?
If I would have known about that, I would have been on that too.
Right.
It's true.
So, at that time, like I said, this is 98, 99, 2000, right? You see what I'm saying? Things is real early. Around this time, this is before 9/11. So then 9/11 happens, country is all, up in the uproar and everybody's just like, yo, it's confused and everything. Meanwhile, you know, technology is still moving and still going. So then the iPhone come out, first one.
Yep.
Changed everything, right? You went from the flip open to now we just all in one. When the iPhone came out, that was one of the first times that people actually had a computer in their hand all the time. See,
Did
I'm
you
at
get
home.
one?
I did not have an iPhone until iPhone 6. That was my first iPhone.
Chad,
So
did you get an iPhone right
I
away?
I've had like every one of them.
I did
Really?
have this though.
Probably all, but you gotta understand. I ain't paid for them though.
I got this.
I was.
I did have a
that
what
touch.
was those called? The iPad. Okay, I had that. Or iPod.
I was
iPod, baby.
I was a bit of a little thief back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Just a little bit.
Appreciate your honesty. I think you may have gotten that honest.
I'll be 7 years. Make sure timeline pass. You don't get.
No, that was
You're
that
right.
was forever ago.
This is
Right.
the iPhone that I'm talking to you guys on currently, which is the XR, which I think is like the 10R or something like that.
That's the one I'm on right now.
It's the first and only iPhone I've ever had.
This is the new one.
Oh, so you have your old one, but you done upgraded. You got the newest one too?
This is another line, but I use it for pictures and stuff like that. And now I want that 12 though.
See,
Oh shoot.
We was
Do
just
the
talking
girls
about
have
that 12.
iPhones?
No, they ain't got no phone.
See, I feel that way too.
I'm trying to wait. I don't know. I really don't know when the time is right to even get them one. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hold off for a bit.
now that plays perfectly into what I was just describing. When I started on the internet, I was 13, 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Your kids is not even teens yet, and you're already saying, I want to figure out when I want to get them access to a computer all day.
Yeah.
No one told me, hey man, you can't have no access to no computer internet. Girl was able to, you know what I'm saying, allow me to just type and have fun. I was on the internet so much that I taught myself how to type. So by the time I got to typing class, I was doing it with my eyes closed because I had been typing already all summer on the internet. And
Already
before
ahead
I
of
knew it, I was gone. Like who knew? You know what I'm saying? But the point is, yeah, the internet grew and got bigger, but everything people was looking for now, they was looking for then. They had chat rooms open where you slide in there and say and do whatever. If you break all that stuff down, like I was trying to go back to the Black Planet, we could just use that for an example. Black Planet, you had your page. That was your individuality. That was you. You created it however you wanted it. Some people had glitter coming down, music playing, all type of stuff happening whenever you went to their page. Aside from that, they had the guest book. When you went to the guest book, you wrote on the guest book, whatever you want to write, keep it moving, right? You checked your guest book. Oh, so and so, boom, boom, came through, boom, boom. All right, let me go to their joint, sign their joint. Done deal, right?
I never had a Black Planet. So this actually, as you're describing it, I knew of it, but I think it was a little before my time. And my mom
I
was
had
not
one.
that. My mom
So
did
remember
not let
having
me
one.
have none of that
MySpace
stuff.
was your first joint.
MySpace was my first joint
Okay, so I'm gonna take it there now.
because
So
that's the
now
same vibe.
with the Black Planet situation, like I said, it was just a guest book, your whole page or whatnot. So now we can move forward to MySpace. Now MySpace was the real entry level to like, okay, the internet is real, the internet is here, people out here. Let's talk. Let's see who we
You
could meet
also
up with.
had to learn how to like do coding and stuff like that. If you
Yeah.
wanted to like decorate your page, you had it was more intricate.
Yeah.
But what was
Everything
before
is very
that?
dumbed down now.
What is that
Before
messenger
MySpace,
thing that people was on?
it was
What are you talking about, Chad?
It was where people had their like different names. You can message people on there.
Was it MySpace or you talking
No,
about
it was AIM.
it was AOL Instant Messenger.
AOL AIM. Okay.
yeah.
That's
So
what I was thinking about.
now that look at that AOL Instant Messenger, that's just nothing but texting.
That's exactly what it is.
That's all it is, right? So now it's mainstream. So now it's like we text it all the time. But if you've been on the internet, you've been texting people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you've been in a chat room, you've been in blog.
Yeah.
That's a whole virtual blog right there, whatever you want to call it. But like you're communicating over electronics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. That's what the email is, electronic mail. So, you know, we've been sending mail, been doing all of this. So now we hop on MySpace, and MySpace probably was the first time where it became like serious with people trying to do people coming up getting hurt, like sexual acts and people getting caught up in like wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? You talking trash to somebody might pull up, you know, let me go find this person, all that stuff in MySpace, right?
I'm
Like
logging on to my MySpace this week.
People was getting caught up in the
what?
I said I'm getting on MySpace this week, period.
Right.
I wish I had my old one.
And then Facebook came. But Facebook originally was just
supposed to be for business. It was supposed to be like
for college though, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
College, and you couldn't even access Facebook unless you had a college email. And then they opened the floodgates to everybody. So now once it became that, mind you, all this is the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So now that we at this conglomerate, Facebook is the biggest thing. But it's all the same thing. And it's all perspective on how you look at it. Once you know how to use what you're using, then it's not a problem. It's all the same thing. First and foremost, the internet can't get anything from you that you don't put on it. It doesn't just randomly go through your files and snatch stuff and upload it and say, here we go.
I feel differently. I feel like stuff is I just think different, okay?
Mhm. Go ahead and use that.
But
Say it again.
I feel differently now. I would have agreed with you about that at probably 5 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. But now our phones listen to us.
100%, yes.
To us, and if you're on Facebook, the advertisements that pop up on your Facebook are catered to the conversations that you are having in the privacy of your home when
This
your phone was off.
Literally happened to me yesterday.
It happens all the time. This is not something that it's up for debate.
Yeah.
And then it's interesting that we're having this conversation about the evolution of essentially social media, right? Is kind of what we're talking about in socialization in general, and communication within that. But Facebook is where we're at now, but Facebook is also linked to Instagram. Facebook is linked to Twitter. Facebook is linked to Snapchat. So they're all linked together. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that they're all owned by the same company now at this point, which then they also have, I don't know, but I'm assume, just talking to Brooklyn about it too. I don't know why we were talking about it, but I feel like they're linked with like Amazon. It all is kind of
and Google
one
too.
Big
Awesome
monopoly.
Right.
What'd you say? Google?
Google too.
Oh,
All
Google.
I can sit there and say if I look up a GoPro, if I look up the camera, a GoPro, and I look for it on Google. I can get out of Google, go on Facebook, see an ad on the side. It's gonna say Google on there, or I'll go on Instagram, start scrolling,
and it says sponsored, and boom,
it'll have GoPro on there.
Yeah,
every single time.
Now
so that's why I'm like,
flip
I feel
side
like
of that,
they're snagging our info now.
the flip side of that is to know how to operate what you're using, because there's ways around that. You see what I'm saying? There's ways to type in things for it not to be tracked and traced, but the average person don't know nothing about that because they just type in what they typing in and boom, then they get hit. Like
and
I
we
said,
ain't agreeing. We aren't reading stuff.
Years. So I'm very aware of all of this stuff. I've been aware of viruses and worms and stuff that you get, all this little techie stuff that can happen to you while you're on the internet, right?
Yeah.
But it don't just go in your phone by itself. Where we at now, if we talking about it, yeah, okay. So you say, oh yeah, my phone's recording me, just listening to what I got going on. But think about it, if your phone completely off, your phone don't even exist. So let's say you ain't even got no phone. We ain't talking phone. We don't have a phone. We just got computer and myself. And I want to go sit in front of it and I want to tell it something. It don't take from you and put it. You have to put what you want on it, is what I'm saying. So this is a computer, like the woman of. You just have to know how to use the device that you have properly to not be able to be getting caught up in the stuff that people get caught up in. You see what I'm saying? Which is I don't know, training 101. Whenever you use anything, you gotta know what you're using it.
And right? I think that's going to have to go on into our education system, because just like Chad is thinking about when is he going to introduce the cell phone to his girls, we are going to have to think about the pandemic, right? The pandemic just happened, and now everyone has to stay home and figure out how to live stream with their teacher and learn. So I feel like it's going to become fundamental for us in this evolution that the country, the world is going through. We're going to have to teach people how to learn about inputting information, not just typing anymore. We're going to have to learn how to navigate and what information we put out there, because our children don't know that once they put something out there, it's there forever. There's no taking it back. You know what I'm saying? So even that emo phase that you're going through, you need to consider the long-term effect of that or whatever.
That's one of the things about TikTok. That's why I didn't allow that. They was talking about that they getting information and all of that stuff, like your social and all of that. Yeah, all of that stuff.
You
So
know,
Trump was on to something when he was trying to
you
ban.
on Facebook, you can set it up to where no one can see anything but you, right? Like
Yeah.
like you can modify all this stuff on all of these sites, right? But
Yeah.
just to have it general stock, yeah, I'm gonna feed you what I'm trying to feed you because I need these advertisements. And as long as I'm throwing ads out, and if I catch an ad that's gonna hit you, then you may pay some. An ad is a commercial, a short commercial for internet. Same thing,
I don't
same
blame them.
information,
It's good
right?
business wise.
Yeah, good business wise, but the main three things in marketing that's used is sex, animals, and kids. Those are the three number one marketing tools: women, sex, and kids. Right?
Am I still here? Can you
So,
guys hear me?
yep,
Hello?
Yeah.
Because Kayleen
yeah,
had just tried to call me, so it interrupted my stream. I'm sorry.
yeah. So, that's a situation as well, where I just lost all train of thought just
I
then.
know I did that. I'm
that,
sorry. I
that
did
just
that,
happened
and I'm
universally.
so
Like,
sorry.
came in and sucked out the whole thing and
Um,
brought it back. But
my bad. We were just talking about.
yeah, what was I? Um,
Ads and protecting stuff that we don't want on the internet. And
I think you
oh,
initially were just kind of giving us the rundown of everything that you want out of I Just Think Different. And so, and then I kind of went back and kind of tuned in on the military and the vet thing. And then you were talking about the evolution of kind of the internet in general. So I don't know if you
yeah.
want to get back into diving into that, or do you want to keep this an umbrella episode to just kind of give people an introduction of what to expect from the show?
It's all umbrella. Got to stay under the umbrella.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let them have everything. That's what it's all about. And on top of that, to add more to it, um, where I really go is I can see me already finna step into my little zones. I'm already getting set up. Uh, since I'm here, I might as well make it make sense. Why I say I think different is, as human beings, we are responsible for ourselves, me included. I'm not exempt from anything that I'm saying, and I'm just as guilty as the next man, and I sin just like everyone else. And if you don't believe in sin, I make mistakes just like everybody else. All right. If you don't believe in mistakes, then guess what? You know, so be it.
Right
You
from
know,
wrong. Okay.
yeah, right from wrong. However you want to slice it up and put it. At the end of the day, though, you are responsible for you. And every day we wake up, we have a choice, and that choice is yes, no, right, left. That's it. Nobody makes you do anything. So when you do something, why not do what you do in the best interest of the people that's around you to benefit them in the best manner, not the lowest manner, the best manner, as well as benefit yourself. But see, in society, we like to argue and we like to get our point across because everybody want to feel like they heard. Everybody want acceptance or validation, right? Everybody want, hey, you feel me? You agree? And some
yeah,
form, just understand what I'm trying to tell you in some way. Like people want to feel that, right? And when they
Yeah.
don't, now I feel like we got a problem because you're not really understanding what I'm saying. So I'm really trying to get you to get it another
I
way,
mean,
and that way it came off a little wrong. All right. So now this person is defending the wrong that you came. So now everything is out of the mix instead of just saying what really is the problem here, what really is bothering you. People have a hard time with saying, you know what, this bothered me and why it bothered me. I have a mindset where if something happens, I'm gonna let you know right then and there that hold on. That right there wasn't cool. And moving forward, we can make adjustments like this. And if we can disagree, then you just keep it moving that way, and I'm gonna keep moving this way. But if we go be around each other in the same circle, this right here is gonna have to happen. Because two
some form
things
of
are always
compromise.
given. Yes. Two things are always given is love and respect. And this world will tell you you have to earn respect. And I don't know how. How can you earn something that's given? Because who you know walk around who wants to be disrespected.
Right.
So that's the already given. I'm respecting off the top because I don't know who just disrespecting people off the top.
Yeah.
And love, people have a problem with the love because you learn love in your home, at home. So if you're a person who didn't really have family structure or your family structure was skewed, which a lot of family structures are off balance. All right, let's be clear on that. It's a lot of disruptive family structures out there. So if you seeing that, not really in the love, not really seeing the love that's supposed to be love, then it's gonna be a situation. I could pull him in right here. Let's see how this goes. What's going on, Ant? You sitting here live with I Think Different podcast, man, and I'm going live right now with two people. I got Tierra and Chad here, and now you just tuned in. We doing a live stream right now, and you're just on the phone. So what's going on, brother?
Well, don't you just sound professional?
Look at right. Yo.
Yeah. You hear me with the podcast voice and everything, huh?
Everything, man. We live and direct. And the reason that this podcast is happening right now is because a year ago today, I said I was going to do it, and I was with these two people, and a year later, we rolling.
You finally got off your ass and did it?
We rolling.
Tell them, man.
Hey, and I got a green screen coming. Be here Wednesday. Light kid and all.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's on the way. And I'm going to get a GoPro within 2 weeks, GoPro 9. Within about 2 weeks, I'm going to have that rolling too. And we could do multiple streams around here.
Wow.
A GoPro 9?
Yeah, GoPro 9 is real hot. I just told Chad about it.
Yeah, I'm getting me one too.
Period.
Got to.
How much is that?
$350.
Yeah?
Yep.
Is that to go under the official podcast deal? I mean, is that like, this is like an official thing, or this is like a test pilot?
Nah, this real. I've been recording for 32 minutes and ain't none of this all together. It's just raw. That's how we roll. And so the world gonna get to see the raw, and they also get to see the cleanup later on when as things develop. I mean, that's the whole point of the journey, to see everything of how I roll. Like, you gonna come out just King James, Yeah.
Well, when you get it, let me know. I give you $100 towards it.
Oh, okay. Look at that, boy. We got yeah.
Oh, he
Put everything up. Hey, we hit every button. Every button you got.
All right.
Hey, for Anthony, yeah, chime it in.
Hey, man. No, I want no cheer. Give me the air horn, cuz.
Oh, I got something better than that.
Oh, yeah. Sound like good old Lion Seal right there.
Hey, man, you know it. You know I like that horn.
Right. No, that'll work. Well, I ain't want nothing. I just called to tell you how I was getting my butt kicked in fantasy.
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
And you finally won.
That's my one again. So yeah, we win. get the record straight.
Yeah, you're doing all that whining, and now your players then came back. Now you winning.
See that? It's all timing. You gotta have the right time. Timing is everything. That's what they claim.
Catalina ain't in the lead this week.
She could be, but not looking too good. Not looking too good for it right now. It's not. No, not looking good for her. She's down 20 points, so I don't really see her.
Oh no, she's done.
She's done. But I got the win. I got the win. I'm covered up. You know what I'm saying?
Did anybody get sorely affected by Dak being out like that?
Yeah, that was their quarterback.
That was her quarterback?
Yeah. So she had that seat. So yeah, no
Ooh.
problem for her. Then she put Cam in. Cam didn't really perform the way she wanted him to. So it was just a bad situation.
All around.
Yeah.
I want to do fantasy football one year. I think that would be fun.
Oh, we gonna put you in next year then.
Put me down. Me and my man. We're both in.
Oh,
I already put us
okay.
in.
Now we got 16 piece. Ooh.
Is there a charge to join?
Yeah.
What is it?
That's the only reason people do it, for money.
Well, this was the first time we charged it, and we kept it light, 25. But
we're gonna up the ante next year.
Yeah, we can up
50.
it to 50 ball.
I might get in on that.
Oh, you want to get in too?
That would be fun, right?
Wow, we gonna hey, wait a minute, man. We gonna have a full pack league, boy. Hey, you better get one good player, and that's it. Gonna be real. Wait, is that real?
My guy's getting too old right now, though.
We gonna see how them skills are. Them game management skills. That's all that is.
That's what it comes down to.
See, y'all speaking a different language for me. I gotta learn still.
Yeah. And them be the people that win.
Oh, the ones that don't know nothing?
Yeah, I just grabbed so and woof, they came up. You know what I'm saying? They be the ones.
Speak it into existence for me, okay? I'm trying to win the pot.
Right? She said she won it all.
Right. Hey, how's that baby?
Perfect. He's absolutely perfect. Holy moly.
Awesome.
He's sleeping right now.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, don't get used to it.
I never do.
They gonna stay up later and later, and then next thing you know, he gonna start talking. You're gonna be like, "Dang, what happened to the time when I could feed you and you would just go to sleep?"
Oh Lord, that is where we're at right now. I can just feed him and he be out.
Yeah. When they start talking, it's a whole nother ball game.
That's the part I couldn't wait for.
You couldn't wait for them to start talking?
I could not wait. That baby stage was boring. I didn't like it. Talk to me.
See, that's that parent talk right there. See,
I loved it.
Major tries to talk. He just don't have words.
Yeah.
So, how is it with y'all being parents? You know what I'm saying, Tierra? You newly a parent. How is it really with actually being a mom?
It is consuming. I have to be very honest about that. You all know me in one form or another, and I am a free-spirited, fly by the wings. You know what I'm saying? I just do what I want, So now having to really, really hone in on one, like I am responsible for this human 100% of the time. No breaks, ifs, ands, or buts about that. And I think we all have that understanding before we ever enter parenthood. But really, like, living it is a much different beast. But it's consuming in the best way. Like, I love him so much. I love him, and I want him to have all the keys to be able to be successful. So I don't know. I just whatever I can do. Right now, he's 3 months old. I read to him. I speak to him. I speak to him in different languages, So I want him to be worldly, cultured, on it. You know what I mean? You just want all the good things. And
so here's a question I'm going to ask. Now that you are a parent, what do you want to do different to your child than what was done to you?
Listen. No, but seriously, I want to listen. That's a big deal. It's a big deal. And I would say I'm fortunate whatever I had, I still am blessed to have both of my parents. And they both, as everyone on this planet, have their strengths and their weaknesses. And so my dad always made me feel like I had a voice. If I talk to him, he's listening. You know what I'm saying? And I've cussed him out because he's made me mad and all of these things. But as a mother, I think a little more critical of my mom. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I'm also more understanding now because I'm a mom of the crap that I put her through. But that is one thing that she didn't do for me. And that is something that I really, really want to implement in Major's life, is just to be able to listen to him, but also set him up for success. You know what I'm saying? When I turned 18, there was nothing for me ready-made. My dad bought me a car, and I'm grateful eternally, forever. Thank you. But I didn't know nothing about savings accounts, stocks, bonds, traveling, college, financial aid. I didn't know anything about any of those things. I didn't have a little pot, even if it was $1,000. Here you go. Let me put this on some. Like none of that.
But you know what that is? Sometimes it's like me and my cousin always talk about. Some of that stuff is like it's carried down. Like if this person didn't say it to their kid, they're not gonna say it to theirs. And you got to stop the cycle.
Absolutely.
And it's not like saying like our parents didn't do something right. It's just we know it. We got the knowledge.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and give our kids the knowledge.
Amen.
That's just
you
what
are
it
so
is.
right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I like that. So moving forward,
is Ant still on the phone, or did he get up out of here?
He's still there.
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So while you there, man, I asked you the same thing. What do you do different to your 3 kids that which would have been done to you, or vice versa?
I don't know that it's a lot different as far as the way I treat them versus the way that I got treated, or I guess raised, so to speak, because obviously my dynamic was a bit different than what they go through.
Right.
So it wasn't 3 of us; it was 2 of us. It wasn't a girl in the house. It was just me and my brother. So a lot of the stuff that we do, we didn't have to include a third person, and not only a third person, but a little girl.
Right.
So it is that whole dynamic is different. I think each kid in their individuality, you try and manage that. Obviously, Angelo is a lot like me. So me being able to maneuver with him is a bit different because I guess for like a lack of a better term, we move the same. Like I can see what he's thinking, and before he says it, I know what he's going to say. I know what he's going to act. Whereas like Tonio is completely different, and then Gigi is obviously completely different, and she is such a free spirit. You really kind of have to hone in on each kid,
right.
And where you look at me and my brother growing up, we were a lot alike. So it was kind of easier to do some of those things. You know what I'm saying? Where we got bikes together, we got video games together, we went shopping together, we got shoes together. And they all hit at different times, and they all really do have their own taste and what they like and how they go about life. So I don't think as a parent in my situation, my dynamic, I can't do things the way that my parents did things. I have to kind of do things how they come. Each situation is different, so I have to address the situation when I get to it. There's no book. It's not like, hey, what did you do? okay, sometimes your scenario might be the same, but a lot of times it could be very different. So you just have to adjust and move how your kids move, and you just have to do it in the best way. Like like little Kiki said, you got to set them up for success.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's the main thing. You can go into it like, man, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it's gonna be so much better than when I was a kid, or whatever it is. But you have to remember that whatever you went through as a kid built your character today.
Right.
And
Yeah, absolutely.
all you can do, all you can do is be the best parent that you can be. And the knowledge definitely is key. As anybody that has any type of color in them, whether you African American or Latino, you're going to be at a disadvantage. So it's working within that disadvantage, or if you let it set you up as a disadvantage, I guess.
Right.
That's the biggest thing is, if you go throughout and not try and stunt them, I guess is what I try not to do. Right now they think do anything. I don't want to take that away from them. I don't want to be like, hey, you can't do this because you're a little black boy or a little black girl, or we're not set up for this. The only thing I can do is, when they tell me, is try and show them the way. If you want to be the president, okay, well, this is how you get to be president. So it's just trying not to shut down any ideas that they have, and it's gonna change. It'll change on a minute-to-minute basis. It'll change on a month-to-month, year-to-year. You just want that creativity to still flow.
Yeah.
I think that is super important.
Yeah.
So another question is, what type of things are you doing to set things up for them so they could be successful the way that you feel that they could be successful the most, versus them being successful on their own, going out there and making their own mistakes, which they're going to do anyway. But the main question I'm asking is, what things do you want to set up for them to fall back on or to be successful with?
I think sometimes it's really setting up yourself. If you set yourself up for success, that can only leak on to your kids as far as them growing up and seeing you do certain things. Well, that my father was an alcoholic, right?
All right.
And then that most of the time when they split up, my mom and my dad, I was with my mom. Well, I had enough of that time, and I was young enough to be able to soak up the things that she was doing. And if you look at my brother, he soaked up some of the stuff that my dad was doing, good or bad. Well, because I was with my mom and she was a single parent, I got all of that hustle. It's because she had to go out and get it, right? So all that set up how I am today. And that if I want something, I'm going to go out and hustle, I'm going to bust my butt, and I'm going to get it. And then I'm going to try and feed that on to anybody else. So, sometimes just as a parent, it's setting yourself up for success. And that will set your kids up for success. We can't go out and preach something that we're not doing ourselves.
See, the thing that he's saying right here is actions speak louder than words. And at the end of the day, as a human being in that household, the household that you run, your actions have to be great in a positive manner to be effective for the people. Now, as he just said, in a household, it was him and his brother, and they both dealt with the same dad because they had the same dad that was drinking. One goes one way, the other one goes the other way. that's still personal choice. So regardless of your home situation, what happens, the individual is still going to make a choice whether they be like, oh, I want to do that or I don't want to do that. So it's still going to come down to what they want. However,
Right.
if you
But
have
leading
enough
by example.
positive influence over them, you will
Yeah.
hope that, okay, I'm gonna roll with what dad said. I'm gonna roll with what mom said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In XYZ situation, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad,
In
how do you
my
feel raising two
circumstance,
daughters? Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
definitely. Go ahead, Chad.
No, go ahead.
I talk a
No,
lot.
you
Chad.
already got that thought. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got that. In your
You got that
circumstance,
thought. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Well, I was just thinking in my instance, like both of my parents have struggled with addiction at some point, whether, you know, it was alcohol or whatever. They both just have their strengths and weaknesses, like I said before. So when I go to do something, and I'm grown now, you know what I mean? I'm grown, but I still do what you're kind of saying and kind of alluding to what Aunt said. I kind of reflect on what I experienced, and then I choose left or right. But for me, the way my mind works is I'm looking at, so when you chose to touch the stove and it burned your hand, am I going to touch the stove, or I'm going to, you know, like I kind of see how it played out for you. I don't know.
I got burned on the stove. I was trying to show you that.
Oh,
That's when I lived in Michigan.
I love that what Aunt was saying though, in terms of, you know, not, because I think even me, I feel like just being a new parent, I really took what he just said into heart, because I think I do focus a lot on how can I set my baby up for success, and I'm losing sight of self a little bit, and that's something that I'm like kind of battling. Like, how do I still maintain my independence, my individuality, my momentum as a woman that I feel like I was gaining, you know, but still be a mom. So don't forget about me, because I think if he could, I could like raise a little spoiled brat that has it all, you know what I mean, and then doesn't feel like they have to work for anything because I've given them everything. So that's a good point that he brought to my mind.
it sounds like in the middle of that as well. It seems like it has to be a balance in parenting where you want to give your kids a little bit more than what you had, but you don't want to overdo it to the point to where they feel like they're actually finna get something and expecting something. Like, it was plenty of times I was told I wasn't finna get nothing and still be in the store throwing a fit. We all done it, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, come on. And then let's go to the next person. Let's go to a auntie, like, uncle, cousin, like, hey, you reach it out there, but hey, the video game, you know what I'm saying? And they looking like, I don't know. Like, what your mama say? He's like, hey, well, she ain't got it. Neither do I. So, all right, cool. All righty.
I think that's very important. Is not losing yourself within your child. You know, that's why you always see me tell Janine that, hey, go over to your friend's house, or, you know, instead of, you know, getting a purse or whatever, something that you don't need for Christmas or for a birthday or something, how about you take a trip and you just go with your friend and you go out of town, because you need that time. And
Yeah.
I can see, like, with mothers, it's like you look at it and you feel like you're being selfish, and that, you know, it's wrong for you to be away from the child and such and such and such and such. You know, if you have someone that you trust 100% to take care of your kid while you're gone, that's great. Leave your child with that person and then go take your time. And even if it's for 2 hours, 3 hours, you know, even if it
gives you a peace of mind.
Like, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, like, well, Jimbo, you know that Neen cut my hair. But if she didn't cut my hair, I would go to, you know, to a barber, and that's 2-3 hours you get by yourself.
Right.
You know, I tell Neen all the time, hey, go get your toes done. Go get your hands done. It's not that, okay, yeah, it benefits me because I get to look at my wife walk around and she got her nails and, you know, toenails done and all of that stuff. That's cool. But the main thing in that is she goes and she gets some me time. She gets some personal time. And I think that is just as important as anything else because you can really go crazy, especially in my dynamic, because not only do you have these 3 individual kids, now she has 3 individual kids and we have homeschooling.
Right.
So, you can easily go bonkers in just trying to make sure that they are good, and at the same time, you're not good. You have to be healthy and thinking at a top level, at the same time as you trying to get them to be healthy and thinking at a top level. So, there is no easy part to parenting. It's rewarding, and it can be frustrating at times. It can be fun at times. Obviously you have a kid, you love your kids, but it's definitely a job. I would say as much as being married is a job, having kids is a job.
Right. So, Chad, how is it raising 2 girls?
Fun. It's fun. Like I guess it's different. I would love to have boys, but over time I've just accepted the challenge. It's it's challenging because on one hand, I got one of them 24/7. Like y'all know that already. So that in itself is at first it was difficult, but as years gone by, it's just winging it. That's all parenting is. That's all I've known, for past however many years. Parenting is just doing whatever you feel is right, whatever you think is, the good thing to do. So I wing it all the time, and it's fun. And then I get my time to myself, and they're old enough to even realize daddy don't want to be bothered. They know my attitude, they know my mind. I let everything out with them. I tell them the truth, they tell me the truth. We got a good relationship.
So it's
a
blessing. It's so important, Chad.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you for that.
Of course, Kira, she's being raised by me and her mama, but then Zahara, she's just me, which is honestly, I like it that way. I'm used to it, and it's easier because I don't have multiple voices, and it's cool. It's always good to have both parents, but with me and my personality, I'm an alpha. So my personality is strong. I feel like I'm good by myself with my daughter, and hopefully I'll have both of them soon, and I love it. It's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Nice.
If I wasn't a parent, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. We'll leave that off here.
Yeah, man. So you got a different situation. You got 2 girls, man, and
2 and through.
Yeah, 2 and through. And those are
done.
2 and done.
I'm done.
It's a wrap, huh?
I'm just getting started.
You got, but you got to think.
Assembly line.
Mine's is 12 days apart. So when that happened,
different scenario.
No, yeah, that was done.
Yeah, you was a wild boy.
Yeah, he was wilding.
Yeah.
That's another show. I'll be back for that show, man. That's another show right there, boy.
They say I get it from my daddy.
Right. That's crazy. Well, y'all seem like good parents, man, and are good parents. Don't seem like, y'all actions definitely speak louder than anything that anybody could say. It's like all you guys as kids are healthy. All you guys as kids are positive. Even the newborn, he's smiling and giggling. It's not like he's crying every 5 minutes and don't know where his parents are. Like he's good.
He definitely exudes love.
Yeah. And I have
to say though, I know you don't have any children, but just being your niece, Chad being your nephew, you know what I mean? You play a a significant role in the lives, I would say, of your nieces and nephews. You have made it your job to stay involved, and you've been one that you don't have to play the strict parent, luckily for you. You know what
Oh
I'm
wow.
saying? So it's allowed us, even because you've been my uncle my whole life, and I've always been able to, especially in the past, I would say in the past, what, 5-7 years or something like that, our relationship has grown substantially. But you've just allowed us to have another person to speak to that listens to us and kind of gives us a reason to come together. Just now, you sent me a text message to tell Kaylina to jump in on this. I don't know if she's going to. I sent it to her. But how is it for you? I know you aren't a dad yet, but you play a father figure in so many young people's lives. So what is that like?
Well,
Flip the script. How you like me now?
yeah.
I'm playing host.
To be honest with you, man, I take great pride in being an uncle. I always say that it's one of the greatest joys. And just because I don't have a kid, I mean, I don't really feel like it's any different because I mean, I feel like I got y'all. It's all the same to me. It's still somebody that you are, have influence over. It's still somebody that you have to be a positive role model for. It's still somebody that you have to take care in some form of facet. You know what I'm saying? And look out and be available for, because that's just what it is. That's the love. That's the kindness. That's what people want. And if I can give, more game to somebody that's under me, that's coming up, that can learn something better for me, and then take how I give it to them, and they know how to flip it because they know how I'm coming. Because truth be told, my siblings, might give it to you a little different, but I'm gonna give it to you one way, and everybody know how I'm gonna give it up. So they know it ain't no in between of what I'm saying, and it's real, it's authentic. So I appreciate that a lot. I take a lot of great pride in it. It's unfortunate that I don't talk to my nieces and nephews as often as I would like, but through this platform right here, you know, y'all all gonna know. And I actually had plenty of dreams and plenty of days and nights and thoughts of, just wanting to have a whole house for my nieces and nephews to just go to with about 10 rooms, man, and just have at it, and just, whenever y'all want to get away, hit the keys, y'all just go to the spot and do whatever y'all want to do.
I think it's a perfect idea.
Hello.
Me
what
personally.
do we need to do to make that happen?
Yo, right? Pull up. Like everybody want say, where that house at? What them keys that you said, what that house? Right?
So,
But nah, it's a good thing.
This is so not related, but it kind of is in regards to what you were just kind of saying, a place for us to go. So Chad, we have hella siblings.
A whole lot.
Oh my God. But never once have we all been in the same place at the same time. Never once. Some of us haven't even met. Right? But we all know each other exist. You know what I'm saying? And I think there's this baseline love for each other just because, we are related. We all have this common denominator. But I had mentioned to Brooklyn recently, and I said it to Kaylina too, that I would like to set up sometime in 2021 a place for all of like 2 days, 48 hours, right? Because I have anxiety, so does Brooklyn. You probably have a little bit. We all come from the same bloodline, so I think we all battle with a little bit of we need to be by ourselves or whatever. But I just want us all to get together. So I was gonna call it like a siblings retreat.
Sib union.
A siblings retreat is what I kind of in my head had it, and just a chance for us all to get together. Dad is not welcome. I've already told him about it, and I said you are not welcome because it'll become the Terry show, and that ain't what this is. But I just I haven't said anything to you about it, but I guess this is my time to bring it to your attention. I was thinking sometime next year in the summer, fall-ish, give us plenty of time to just plan to get together, probably Michigan or some, you know what I mean? Somewhere where we can all just get to know each other a little bit better and bring our children too. I want the girls to be there. I bring Major. Kaylina's
I wish
got a whole
everybody.
gang.
When I went to Michigan last year, I was like, dang, I wish some more people was here. It sucked.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be real dope to see all y'all together and just
We
get
need
one.
you to have that house by next year. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, hold on, you putting the pressure, but why you putting the pressure on the player? You know what I'm saying? Hey,
I wanna come to where both of y'all at though, for sure.
man.
No, there's definitely you and the girls are welcome here. We have
you got to think I live in small Kentucky. This ain't exactly glamorous. This ain't nothing.
Fort Knox.
Oh my God.
It's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't too far from Texas. Go ahead, Ant.
Maybe you guys could maybe you could like kind of pregame, almost like a little icebreaker, and maybe do like a Zoom or like a Google Meet, and then that way you
That's a good idea.
At least you get a face with the boys, and it's not so in person, but you still you're still looking at that person, and you know, and you can see, like, obviously, Sierra, if you get on there, you're gonna have so much joy, and seeing that happiness, that makes it a little bit easier. You know, like you say, with the anxiety and things like that. You know, somebody else might have the anxiety, but that breaks that barrier down. And
I think that is a great idea.
Remember we did that, and Grandma was on there, and everybody. I think it was some little party y'all was at. Do you remember that, Tierra?
Was this when we were at Jaden's birthday party when we met Nathan?
No, we was on a video. We was on a video chat, and you was with Granny. Daddy was where he was. Not to say too much on here, but you remember that he was on the phone and everything. You might not remember.
So that must have been we were all. I feel like so
it was like a party get together, whatever y'all was doing.
I think it was like after one of his court dates. We used to get together every time.
Yeah, it was nice.
No, but I think that is I didn't even consider that, Anthony. So I think that is a really perfect idea because all of my dad's children, besides myself, are super introverted.
And it's pandemic time, man. And the other two boys, man, it's like, Nate Terry, whoa, like you got a super militant dude, strong boy, he like cars,
so funny.
do everything. Nate is Nate, then Terry, a surgeon, bro, out here, like y'all they're like, I'm slicing people.
What's interesting, they're so funny because they're like opposite. Nathan is like military. He comes off as so secure, but he's actually like not. He's more like I don't know. He's like I don't know. He's like really soft. And then Terry comes off as almost insecure, but he's absolutely not. He's very secure in who he is, confident in what he believes. They're very interesting because
I get that from both of them.
Yeah. It's their dynamic is interesting.
That's dope.
But we got to make that happen. So now I'm gonna make it my business to get us all on a Zoom call or something like that.
Yeah.
See?
That'd be nice.
I think that would be a really great place to start.
Yeah.
You know, because you know how it is when you get the family reunion and you start seeing people and you're like, dang, man, like, I just kind of want to go back to my room and chill.
No, definitely.
You get the Zoom, that's it. You be like, hey, listen, we can make this 10 minutes or we can make this 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a little icebreaker, man, to get everybody in the know, get everybody used to a face. You're not just meeting them for the first time when you get together, and it makes things a little bit easier. And the great thing about the Google Meets and Zoom Meets and stuff like that, you can have them anytime, any day. And if you connect with another person, and you're like, oh yeah, call me, at this day. And, it's just trying to progress the relationship further. That's all.
I've never used those platforms before. Is it something where you can create like
Yeah,
if I did
Google
all of
Meet
the
is-
siblings together, it would just kind of always
Kinda
be
like-
available?
It'd be like this.
Yeah,
Similar to this
Google
setup right
Meet
here.
it's super easy. Obviously, just because it's Google. And anybody with a cell phone, computer, whatever,
Yeah.
you go onto Google and you can do Google Meet. Zoom is a little bit different because either you got to do the Zoom app or you got to go on to the Zoom website, things like that. And so, but it's I mean, to me, they're both easy. Once you start getting into some of the other programs, it gets a little tougher. Another good one too is House Party. So if you got that app, so that's a good one.
I tried House Party before. I've used that one. That one was like weird for me, but
Duo, house party,
Yeah.
either way, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna reach out to my sibs and try to work that out because I think that is great. Because we're all a little funny acting. We like to be distant and all of that. So I feel like I that's why I haven't like done a group text. Hey, let's do a sibling retreat. I kind of wanted to bring this up to each person individually. Like I reached out to Terry recently and just kind of broke the ice. How you doing? I miss you. What's going on?
This is what I do with Daddy all the time.
Yeah.
This the only thing I do with Daddy. I don't talk to him on the phone or nothing. This is it.
Ain't Terry
you
married a year
video
ago?
chat with him?
All the time. That's the only thing we do.
That's what I do with him too.
Terry's been married a year now, right?
Yes.
It's the same time, right? Wasn't it today? Didn't he get married today or something like that? I felt like we was on the hookup and he got married or something. I gotta get back on
Sissy,
social
I'm
so I
friends
can
with
see
his
what's
girl.
going on.
I'm friends with his wife on Facebook, and she did post anniversary pics today.
Oh yeah, so it was today.
I'm not sure if it was indeed today because she said
No,
she
I
didn't
believe
say
it
happy
was because
anniversary,
it was sometime within these last 72, 48 hours. I know that.
yeah. Yeah.
That's real cool. That's real cool. See how all this come together from just the podcast? And it's raw too. This ain't no edits.
Look
That's the
at,
best.
I don't
That's
know,
the best
Chad,
way to
have
do
you
it.
seen him changing the topic on here? I think different parenting. I think different siblings. He's like changing the subtopic.
I ain't see it.
If you see it like going across the screen at the bottom,
Oh, now I do.
he's
I like
changed
that.
it. That's like his third time changing it. Based on what we're talking about. I think that's
Yeah,
sweet.
man.
That's real nice.
I know I sent Anthony. I don't know. I bet he can't get in, but I sent it on.
What's that? Oh, yeah,
Yeah, you can't get
at
on
the
that
same
joint.
time. No, I seen the text come through, but no, I'm still working, so
Right.
I didn't have a chance to jump over and click on anything.
Anthony, you and my dad be doing the RC races together?
Yes, we do. He doesn't so much race as like me and him are usually in the woods somewhere with the RC trucks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we definitely do RC stuff together.
I'm happy he has somebody to do that
talked to
with
your
because I
dad.
don't like hearing about it.
You said you don't like hearing about it?
Yeah, I
He
said
talks-
I'm happy he has somebody to do that with because I don't care to hear about it.
I told him I'm gonna get one.
No. Yeah,
I'm
he
gonna get one soon.
usually like lays everything out. So I'm usually on the phone with your dad for a good 2 hours.
Sounds
Aren't
about
we
right.
all?
Easy. So
Oh man.
cars and RCs, and I think everything in between and around.
Yes.
It just depends
My
on what's on your
boyfriend-
mind.
When I would first get on the phone with my dad and my boyfriend would be around, he would start whispering, "Don't tell him I'm here. I don't want to talk.
That's how
But
my
they really
mom
love
was.
each other, and that's so cute. They love each other, but it's
Oh,
funny because
man.
Marquand like knows, like, no, if you get on the phone with him, you're subject to like.
I would definitely say your dad is fond of him, and he is hoping for big things for you too. I'll say that.
For
He
sure.
called me. Let me tell you, he called me at like 7 a.m. last week, and I have a 3-month-old baby. Okay, don't call me at 7 a.m. But he called me at 7 a.m, and I'm like, "Hey, Dad, we're sleeping." I'm whispering and everything. Oh, okay. Well, I was just calling. Where's Marquand at? Well, he's sleeping right next to me. Okay. Well, I was just calling to tell you I love him. What?
He said you called me at 7:40 to tell me about my man that you love. Like,
And so you don't.
I'm
You didn't
telling
call
you,
for
man.
me.
all right.
But I was just like, wow. So yeah, I know that he's fond of him, and I appreciate that. But don't call me at 7 a.m. with
Well,
that.
yeah, your dad has been up the street, around the block, and back a million times. You know, he knows people. That's one
Yeah.
thing about him that you know it was always easy for me to talk to him because one, he's a very good listener. And if you need him to just listen, you have to tell him, "I just need you to listen."
Oh my God, you ain't lying.
Even better talker.
Yeah, yeah. But he can talk. But you know, he knows people. He knows characters,
Yeah.
and just you know, so when he comes across a good spirited person and somebody that he thinks is a good person, you know, he has no problem telling that individual, or you know, if it's like in your case, it's gonna be your boyfriend, or you know, significant other. So he's gonna let you know. That's one of the things that I respect about your dad. Good. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, he gonna let me know.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely he's always been in my ear, you know what I'm saying? And I can definitely agree with everything you're saying. But you too, Chad. He's a better talker.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
But
he
he
Our
is a really good
our
listener.
average. I love it though. I mean, I think of it as I'm getting all of this now. You never know when you never know when it could end. You never know.
Right.
So whenever he talking, and our average conversations is hour and a half or 2. So,
Minimum.
and sometimes more.
I have to tell. Sometimes I just hang up on him. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, Dad, I said bye 30 minutes ago. Bye. Like, I gotta go.
Out of that hour and a half, how much are you talking?
Me?
Yeah.
About 15 minutes. I might ad lib. I'll ad lib, but he's just.
Yep.
I'm just good at. I don't care though. Like he talks about different subjects. If it ain't females, it's the RCs. It's something. I love
I
it
be
though.
giving him full doses of himself though, so sometimes me and him get heated. Like our conversations get heated because I'm not about to. I ain't. You know what I'm saying? Your home situation. I got all kinds of opinions on that, and I'm gonna tell you. So don't even bring it up with me.
He has me laughing most of the time.
You know, it's funny. I've caught him right off of talking to both of you, and those conversations can go so different. And whether I was lucky, unlucky, I don't know. But I caught him right off of you, Sierra, just completely going in, and yeah. He picked up the phone. I said, "What you doing?" He's like, "Well, my daughter just yelled at me." And I said, "Okay, I'm all ears." Like, you know, if you need to talk, go ahead and talk, and I'll listen. But I I think like right now in his life, I can see his joy in talking to you all, and that's big for him. Like you said, he called you at 7 in the morning. I'm pretty sure he was probably somewhere in Tennessee or Kentucky, but he called you at
Yeah.
7 in the morning, to talk, and I think he is really enjoying that. And it's just like you said, you don't you don't know when that's gonna end, and he doesn't know when that's gonna end. And so he's
Right.
trying to get as much of that as he can in.
Gotta soak it all
Because
up.
it hasn't always been there. And so he has that now, and he's kind of basking in the love, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great.
I agree. I agree with you for sure.
I'd like to welcome next person to the podcast here. I see Quay has joined the
Quay?
podcast. What's going on, Quay?
What's up?
He in here.
Look at him laid up.
I'm tired.
Little hoop star, man. What's going on, man? Tell me something new in the world, man. You are going into your second year of college. So what I want you to do right now, man, is explain to me that first year of college as far as just the sports part, and then I'm going to ask you about academics. But just give me a brief
And
summary
then he's
of
gonna
the
ask
sports
you about
part.
the ladies.
That's another show. Chad
so
back.
I'm
It'll be nephew
I'm
central up here.
entering my second year. I'm entering my sophomore year of college at a Division II JUCO, Macomb Community College, where I'm on an athletic scholarship. I'm right now just looking to earn my major in general studies. So I'm trying to balance out, as you can tell, I'm trying to balance out the time of being a student versus being an athlete versus trying to be like a normal person. As you can see right now, I'm still in bed, so I'm trying to be a normal person right now. This is the only time I can like just lay down, just kind of relax, really.
All right.
So I can tell you my daily schedule is right now. Join the Zoom class, which is always an 8 a.m. Zoom class. After the Zoom class, I do go into my first job. I work at Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm there from 10 to 3:30. So I'll go from there. Then I'll head straight to basketball practice, which is from 5:30 to 7:30 on the floor by 5:15. And then afterwards, I'm trying to normally get a few shots up. You know what I'm saying? Get 100 shots up at least. Get back on the road. I'm usually back home around like 9:20, 9:30 or so. And then at that time, it's like right now, obviously I would be like just laying down, relaxing. And about 10:30 or so, I'll eat and then I'll start my homework and stuff like that, or whatever I got to do school-wise. And I try to get as many assignments done out the way as I can throughout the week. So it's a pretty busy schedule for a sophomore in college. But I know this is not gonna get any tough. It's not gonna get any easier. So I kind of just like preparing my mind, preparing my body for anything that I got going on right now.
Yeah.
That's amazing, Quay. Congratulations, first of all. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That is a
Thank
big
you.
deal. I do not want to breeze over that. That is a big deal. And the fact that, I did the college thing too. So did Uncle Jimmy. You know what I mean? And did you go to college?
No, trade school.
What did he say? Trade school?
One more time, trade school?
Trade school.
Yep.
So that still takes some discipline too.
Oh yeah.
But Quay, to be able to balance all of that, that is a lot, because a lot of student athletes don't have the time or the desire or the energy to work also.
Mm-hmm.
You're working. You are working. Are you doing well in all of your classes?
Yeah, I am. I'm right now I have a B, and an A.
Good for you. So
That's
how
big.
many credits are you taking?
Just 12. We just take the minimum 12 credits. 12. You pass
No, that's
12
a
credits.
minimum full schedule though. That's still full time. That's
you
great.
take 12 credits to stay eligible. So
Yeah.
as long as you have 12 credits, I take 3 classes. All classes worth four credits. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
Because
say
it's
pick you
hi
up.
to my little big cousin.
it's
My big
time.
Pick
It's
you up.
definitely time. It's definitely time consuming. You know, you gotta find a way to balance it. But I ain't, I tell like my friends when they ask me like how you balance it all. It's like it's all I ever wanted to do since I was 6, 7 years old. So and basketball was just always part of my life. So I just took it in consideration where school was gonna come along with it. So you just gotta learn how to balance it out.
As as far as basketball, going into your second year of basketball, what do you see you seeing your strengths grow on the basketball court versus coming out of high school? So how has college developed your game?
You
Oh
still
man,
feel like the man, or did
no,
you
not at all,
get
not at
humbled at
all,
all once you went to
not at
college?
all. That's part of. I think that's part of growth. As like as becoming more of a developed basketball player. I went from high school to where I was, you know, the ball is in my hands.
The man.
You know what I'm saying? 90% of the time. Versus where I come to college where now I'm 6'2", and the same guard that's the same height as me has been there for a year. You know, he knows everything. So I'm now learning from him. And it was kind of I took a backseat last year. I tell my parents this, I tell my friends this. I took a backseat last year. And it was a learning experience for me from where I got to learn from every sophomore that was on the team. You know, from I talked to every coach. It was a learning experience. I would never tag myself as the man anymore. I just feel like I'm just part of the team. You know, I stepped into that role where it's like, all right, whatever I got to do for us to win, I'm gonna do. So so this year I could tell you when I got to college, my game went from I play at 99 speed all the time to pick and choose where to attack, pick and choose where to, take the game over, kind of things like that. I went from I went from being in high I went from being in high school where I'm playing at 99 speed all the time to now it's more under control. So where I can turn the speed up, I can turn the speed down. Learn how to control the game by also learning to when to pick and choose the attack for everything and create for everybody around me. So things like that, they helped my game grow. And like I said, that's also with playing for against people my like entire life that are older than me. So I learned a lot from everybody around me, not just college basketball. College helped me get ready for more competition, things like that.
Is my cousin going to be in the NBA or not?
I'm chasing a dream, but I'd rather go overseas before I go to the NBA.
Okay. Why is that?
I'd rather go play in Spain and Italy and Ireland and Barcelona, places like that. That's what I'd rather go do before I go to the NBA. Watching the NBA, that's
Is
still a
it just
dream,
because you want
obviously.
to travel or why?
Yeah, that's part of travel. Part of travel. Like the NBA is always the ultimate goal. Like that's what I want to get to. I want to get to that floor. But if I be, if I, had a chance to become an overseas pro, I would take that first. But
Okay.
whatever opportunity opens up, that's what I'm going to take as well.
That's nice. That's what I like. The
And now
question I
you're a
got,
big unk 2 times.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So
double up.
yeah, that's also exciting. Like I normally I try to find sometime like throughout the week, try to like FaceTime them or anything like that because I'm not able to see them as much. So as long as I stay in touch with them, they know I got more love than anything for them. So that's all that matters.
What was
Nice.
that, Unk? That just popped up on the screen.
Just a little header. Let you know what's
Oh,
going on.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Let
if
you know what's
other
going
people
on.
were to tune in and look at this, this is the screen that they would see.
Yes. If they follow that link.
They're doing
I put
podcasts like this right now too.
What'd you say?
I said people are doing podcasts like this right now. Like how it's looking like this.
Yeah.
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 Is there any way on your end to see if other people have tuned in?
Yeah, but
Have
nobody has. Nobody's come in this room. 'Cause I have to allow them to view the stream. Now, after I end this broadcast and I upload it to YouTube to the I just think different page, then then they can see it. And then moving forward, when I go live, I'm gonna set it up to where it just automatically go to YouTube. But right now,
Are you gonna want to do? Oh, go ahead. Right now, what?
go ahead.
Are
It's
you
going
gonna
to
do
everywhere. It's going to
like
actually be on podcast shows once I use this device that I have that you can't see. I can go anywhere with this thing. I don't need no computer, no nothing. I just hit record and we sit down with 4 people and we chop it up. And
You should take a clip and put it on your Instagram and have people go to it too.
yeah, those type of things. But ultimately, I want to just stream it on podcasts. Like I said, I've been listening to podcasts since at least 2005. All right. So this is stuff people didn't even know what was around. I used to click on it and be like, oh, what's this? Because I hate commercials. I hate ads. So, if I just want to hear what I want to hear, I want to be able to hear that. I don't want to hear you come on with other stuff trying to get me to buy and all that. I got something I want to hear, I want to listen to, so let me just hear that. Now, all of a sudden, ads is the big thing. You got to get paid. That's how people getting paid. I don't want none of that. Don't bring none of that over here. You know what I'm saying? If people will buy something, they know where to get it from. You don't need to pop up on this screen for you to know to go get you a Snicker bar. If you want a Snickers, go get one. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if I got some valid information that I give you, I scroll it past the screen and then you can check it out. But I'm not going to sit here and announce it and pause my show to give you something that you could go research. I put a link for you. All the best I could do.
You don't think that if this blows up, or when this blows up, rather, let me manifest that in my language, that you're not going to elevate to that level? Because if you have a YouTube channel and you start to get enough following and views, YouTube is going to be like, all right, we're going to pay you. Advertisers are going to be on here. Are you going to try to not have that? Or are you going to kind of just allow that?
Probably not. You go always be able to just hear this clean. You're not going to be able to listen to this for about 30 minutes and then some advertisement come in and be like, oh, now back to the show. Like, nah, it's all day raw. Like, that's what I want. And that's what I always wanted over about 15 years now, because I just want to get the information that I'm trying to hear. I don't want to hear nothing else. If I want to hear a commercial, I'll turn on the radio. That's what the radio is for. I'll watch TV.
I think you're going to create a niche market. I think you're going to create a niche.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is like, because you can't find anything without a commercial nowadays. So I feel like that
right here
of itself will create a value for you. You can come watch this show uninterrupted, period. Yeah.
Because this ain't about money. It's just about getting information. And if money is attached to this, God did it. It wasn't me. So it had nothing to do with me. I'm just putting out information, and that's just what it is. And you want to pay me a certain X amount of dollars to, just because there's traffic flow coming through here, then how about you take that money and for all the traffic that's coming through here, pay them. Divvy that money up that just go pay me and distribute a check to the viewer. Do that. You know what I'm saying? Because without the viewers, then you wouldn't be talking to me. So it's never me, it's the people. So like it has nothing to do with me. I'm just somebody that they want to hear. But if I'm replaced, who next?
I support it. I support it.
That's a good way to think about it.
I appreciate it.
I would take that money though.
Yeah, you want that check.
Hey, I'm gonna just be honest with you, huh?
If it was me, Every 30 minutes there would be an ad.
Yeah,
Okay?
hey.
Hey, so it's getting to a point now where people can't even talk about what they got on, or they blocking out what they have. Like, you know, these glasses,
As
these
to
headphones, they
avoid
put
the
like,
ad.
"Bro, I bought this. I don't have
Has
to
your
block this out.
has
This,
your hair ever been
for this."
tangled up? Well, use this.
Yeah, is that an ad? You didn't pay me for that.
That
Oh yeah, super
they
like
put
a
everything in there.
subtle ad.
Yeah, I don't like it, man.
Wondering what I've been eating this whole time?
You know why? Because I don't like commercials. Do you know the hidden thing in commercials that you might know or might not know? Do you know commercials are legitimately louder than anything that you hear on purpose, because it's supposed to get your attention and attract you? So if you watch a
So
movie and it's low,
annoying.
the commercial is going to be the loudest thing that you hear on purpose. It's literally set up like that. That's the point, because I need to get your attention. And then you go get hit with sex, kids, and animals, because those are the things that people can't deny, right? People are lustful all the time. You're always looking at something sexy or sexual, even if it's not directly sex. People want to feel sexy about themselves, or sex appeal, or feel self-appreciated. So if you're looking at lingerie or something, you're thinking like, oh, maybe I get into that, or and then animals. So like, who's denying animals, right? So they show you the animals. You want to go to the zoo, you want to get a dog, cat,
Yes.
fooling around. You're like, oh, and nobody denies kids. I mean, you go say something bad about somebody's kids and have them parents come after you. So like, oh, here's a kid thing. So you feel empathy for kids, and boom, there you go.
Yeah.
Here's the kid. So top 3 marketing things right there. You're never gonna get around them. And then from there it goes to color coding. Certain colors get used with the specific things too to really draw it in. That's a whole nother other thing. But that's just all marketing. But I feel like over the years, they've been training people brains to catch this stuff. None of this stuff works for me. I can turn it off. Like, I don't have to listen to it. Like, you give me something, I don't pay attention to it. Here's an example. I don't know if you watch the NBA in the bubble, right? I don't know if you watch the NBA in the bubble, but during the bubble, right, they got Black Lives Matter on the court, right, at the top, right?
Nephew.
Then they got other advertisements on the side. And then the biggest advertisement they got is the Michelob beer that's on display in the background. So as I'm watching basketball, you telling me I need a beer too. Yeah. You see what I'm talking about? Now these kids and stuff watching everything. Yeah, go get you a brew. That makes sense. Go get that. No, that doesn't mix with basketball. I can't drink a beer and go shoot. Like, I mean, you could, but yeah, you might be off a little bit, but
You can't.
you see, you say you can. You sound like you speaking from experience, man.
No, I just speak from being around teammates that didn't try to do it.
Okay. You sound like Mike now, man. You sound like Jordan on on the last joint.
We got practice. We got practice at 9 a.m. in the morning. You want to go out and have drinks tonight? Like, no, it don't work like that.
Nah, I don't. No, I don't. It's a major deal right there. It looks like from a major deal to a major meal. A major meal.
Yeah, he's getting. He can't even be sociable yet. He just woke up. He needs to eat.
Got a
Once he
major
gets some
meal.
food in his belly, he'll be happy.
Nice. So Quay, the question was asked to me earlier, was how do I feel like, being an uncle and so forth. So I'm gonna ask you the same. How has being an uncle changed your life?
It makes me put having kids of my own in a different perspective.
How so?
Meaning, like, I kind of see, like, all right, one, having kids is a huge. It's like a huge thing to, you know what I'm saying. You got now you have something of your own. Like you have your own child that you have to now take care of and nurture and things like that. And being 19 years old and with the status that I have, I'm not ready for any of that. I'm not, and I feel like it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to say I'm not ready for no kids or anything like that. But I do have times where, like, I think of, and I can't wait to have a little me. I can't wait to have a little girl. I can't wait to have a little boy. Things like that. It definitely makes me look at being a parent. Like I give my parents, all the props in the world. I give any parent all the props in the world. My sister, I give her all the props in the world. Dealing with two kids, and they're fairly, they're not no age different, not no
Hello.
You went out.
one yet. Like,
There you go.
Oh, okay.
y'all hear me?
You
I'm still here.
you dropped out. You still there?
Quay. No, we hear you. Talk about hold on. Wait a minute. Hello.
Oh, he got some technical difficulties going on. Oh, well, that's awesome, man. Well, I'm glad that y'all here in this situation actually see this get kicked off the ground. I'm glad it happened on 10/19, man. 10/19, 10/19. Never forget 10/19. So 10/19, 19, 10/19, 20, 20. So hey, it's just 10/19. A 10/19 thing. It's almost 10/19, 9 minutes to 10/19. So that's a big deal. So always hold
Hey,
this day down.
you stuck now, bro.
You said I'm stuck?
This it. You stuck. You can't go back. Ain't no turning back.
Nah. We didn't got too much here, too much equipment to turn back, man. It's too much here, and it's too many people that need to hear my voice, and it's too many people that has been waiting on me to talk that talk. I ain't even got into that talk yet. This is just hey, hey,
Introductory.
yeah. Just hey, we ain't even put no fire up under nothing yet. I ain't even got into that world. So all that's coming, man. And to be able to talk to these different people that's going to be on here, man, is going to be great. I'm going to have try to reach out to different artists in different genres of music. Going to be reaching out to people who are doing things in the community. Reaching out to people as my siblings, family members. I have a family hour on here. Just being real and just offering a different perspective on how I think on things. And, a lot of people think different. So that's why, I think different. And I like
Uh, well, one I would say that I'm super proud that you have taken the step to do something that you want to do and that you wanted to do for quite some time now. I know we talk about it all the time, and we talk about one of the things of starting something is starting something, actually doing it. So the fact that I'm talking to you right now on your podcast is pretty big to me. I would definitely not underestimate the importance of being an outlet. And I think that you have been an outlet for so many people. I think about how many times, you call your nieces and nephews and just check on them and call certain family members, to check on them. I was telling you the other day, that don't take that for granted, and a lot of people that may not look for that cause, but that cause nonetheless means a lot to them. That one call that say, hey man, I just wanted to check and see how you doing. you completely turn around somebody's day. And I think that you have done that for a long time. So I don't want you to lose sight of the importance of this moment, because I think that this moment for you is a life changer.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just not. I don't think it's just for you. I think it's for everybody.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And it's just, I'm just happy for you.
I appreciate it, man. And I'll be honest, and that's all I want to do on this podcast is just give it to you raw and be honest. I'm probably one of the most laziest people you know, man. Like I don't really want to do too much. So if I can do it and I done did it, it's really a big deal and serious because it'd be nice to just sit here and do what I want to do, just sit here, play around with music for a little bit, take a nap, go walk outside, then come back home and just sit there and do nothing. But hey, man, you got life to deal with and everything else that goes on in your world, man, and things you want to do for people, things people want to do for you. And then your perspective changes. You like, you know what? It's not about me. You know what I'm saying? It's somebody out there who need this. Who need to hear? Who just need the confirmation? Somebody out there just need to see the simple fact of me just saying I was lazy and I'm sitting up here talking on my own podcast, which no longer made it lazy. It made it action, and the action is louder than words because people speak a lot, even me. But when you can present that action, that can't be taken away. You can't take away that action. That action means you're doing something. You know what I mean?
No, you're definitely the motivator for us.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. I always say that, man. Like the first step in success is you taking action and doing. I've started 2 businesses, or if you want to call it a side hustle and a business, and sold a business, and the biggest thing is just doing it, and then everything else will start to move. It's a snowball effect. No snowball ever started out big. So you gotta actually start the process, and that's what you're doing. So
man, appreciate that. Well, it's gonna be
cool business.
Plenty of shows coming, man, and can't wait to the point to where I'm just riding around with this device, man, pulling up on people, just boom, live and direct. Let's go. Here go the mics. Here record. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? And giving a different perspective on people, man. I even want to go down to, again, as we open this show up, speak to homeless people and put them live direct right on, man. Hop on. Let the people hear you. What's going on? What you want to say? What you got going on? Like, I want to talk to, whoever feel like they need an outlet. Whoever feel like they got something to say, Like, what positive influence, can you put on somebody? Not negative, because we all can do that, but what positive influence can you put on somebody in a uplifting manner? Because that's what it's really all about. And I don't want to sit here.
Thank you for having us here.
Ain't no problem. Thank you for being
For sure
available. You know what I'm saying? And it starts right with family, and here it is, right here. So we right here with fam, right at the beginning, a year later, right here doing it live. So that's definitely dope. And it's definitely a blessing to be able to hear and do this with y'all. So y'all see the furtherness of this show. Just know that y'all was the ones here first ones right here, giving it up. You know what I'm saying? Having that casual conversation. I'm sure y'all be repeat people on here. You know what I'm saying? Have y'all on here a few times, chime in, chop it up. I might just call you up one day. Boom, you on. You know what I'm saying? What you got?
Anthony didn't know he was about to be on there.
Look, now you live. Look at him. Big deal.
Right. Yeah, I'm happy. I get to. Well, I talk to you all the time, so. But I get to talk to two people that I rarely get to talk to, if ever. So that's awesome.
Oh, see, I
I'm
was able to
thinking
make
this.
that.
Here's something that's crazy, right? Chad, when was the last time
Mm-hmm.
you chatted?
A year ago today.
Hello.
Oh man, see,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
yo,
I'm not
very-
gonna lie. I didn't know what was going on.
nah, I'm a let me show you right here.
Major says hi.
What's up, nephew?
That's what it was. October 19th at
Wow.
2:30. See that screenshot? And I said, you know, boom. I said I was gonna make the podcast. That's what I wanted to do. You know, boom. It's all there, live and direct. So we a year later, up in the same man, and you know, God willing, it continues to go till it's no longer needed. And if it's no longer needed for me, hopefully y'all can pick it up and keep it moving, man. Y'all think different just like me.
I just think different. Yeah. That is such a perfect name for a podcast.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the applause. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why you didn't hit the applause when Clay was talking about his game.
I did. I hit him with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I get asked that question a lot.
Yeah. As long as you don't get hit with this, you know what I'm saying? You know, you're all right. That's what happens.
What is that? The cricket?
Oh yeah. When you hit somebody right and they ain't got nothing to say, you don't want that. What happened? I thought you had a lot to say, but okay, you ain't got nothing now? Okay, cool. We can set it off then? Yeah, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? So now that I got y'all here, man, I'm gonna tell you what it is. For real. I'm gonna get my pad
Things
right
are
here.
starting to get kooky in my house right now. Dogs are barking, my baby's farting.
So while I got y'all here, man, each of y'all give me 2 topics piece that y'all want to hear about and that y'all would like to hear. And
All right. Start with the youngest mind. Go for it.
Women.
Winning?
okay.
Women.
Oh, women. Oh,
Women.
women.
What about women that you want to hear about specifically?
Babe, can you change this booty? Because it went down.
Oh, that's I give you a list.
You love that, daddy?
That's a tough. I don't know if I couldn't expand that one. It's not just no women. I just got to talk about it sometimes.
Look, you know, Uncle
He want a
Jimmy,
vent
if that
section.
conversation starts,
Yeah, you know.
it is going to snowball, okay?
Yeah.
Into all kinds of stuff. I think that's good.
I
Women.
need it. That's why I said it.
I need it.
All right. Okay, Mason. Mason, come here. Come
Oh,
here.
you want line? You got a lot going on. All right, Quay, give me another one. That's it. 2 from each.
Social status. Like, social status really matters. Yeah.
All right. Chat.
I just had two in my head: financial stability and
Lock it.
the importance of voting.
We need to do that one soon. We need that one next week, Monday. Hello.
Don't let, I might let that voting one go tomorrow. I'm gonna wait tomorrow. Oh, man. Woo, boy, I've been shook the world. That.
And I say that because I want more information on voting.
Okay.
That's been, I don't know. I got my own ideas about that, but I want to hear what, your thoughts and whoever else would,
Oh, you don't want to hear mine. Mine is revolution.
I want to hear them all. Just let me know when you're gonna talk about it.
All right, check it out. I'm gonna give you a pregame right now. Look, it's 5 people here. You know what I'm saying? 3 live, 1 on the phone. Let's just say I'm asking y'all, I'm the host. Hey, what y'all want to hear me talk about? And we go vote. You want to hear me talk about McDonald's or Burger King? And y'all go raise your hand. Everybody want to hear me say McDonald's? Raise your hand. All 3 of y'all raise your hand. I got to talk about McDonald's. Y'all don't raise your hand. I guess I got to talk about Burger King. You feel me? That's the vote. That's what I think, man. We doing something simple like that. It matters, right? Now, check it out. What happened over history and years when that type of voting come into play? When you talk about it's a social change and a lifestyle change. It's something that you got to understand before you even understand the voting. Like when you voting, this is all government based. This is the whole program. The government is the program who make the rules that we are voting for, right? So now we got to understand what is it that I want, because in order to vote, it got to be something that you want. Now, if it's something that you don't want, you don't even care about the vote because it ain't even nothing that pertains to you. But in this world that we live in now, they're telling you every vote matters. So you better be in tune. All y'all better be in tune to something and pay attention to what's going on because we need your vote, right? And then some people like, yo, I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know the situation was going in there. The example I gave earlier was you can have a mom and you have a dad. Mom tells you to do something. Dad tells you to do the opposite. You got both parents there. They told you to do something. Who you listen to?
What if you don't trust neither one?
I'm looking at the credibility, period.
I don't trust neither one of them.
So you not listening to your parents? So you already being disobedient child.
I don't trust neither.
I'm voting independent.
You see what I'm saying? Now that's in the household. So if the household ain't even under control, how you expect the world to be under control?
It ain't.
Right? How you expect the United States to be under control when people ain't even got their house under control? Right? I just gave you a simple scenario. You didn't even ask. You just said you didn't know who to listen to. Nobody know who to listen to.
The credibility. It depends on the topic. It depends on what you're trying to tell me to do, and
But I've always been that way. I get it's just who I am. I've never trusted not one president.
You shouldn't.
Not one. I've never It's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I felt safe. I felt safer with Obama. I didn't vote for him, but
did you not vote at all?
I've never voted once in my life.
Okay.
Not once. And this year is really where I've thought to actually do it.
I don't care what you believe in. It's time for change.
I'm gonna ask y'all. I'm gonna ask 3 of y'all a question. Not Ant, because I think we had this conversation. So you can chime in. I'm gonna ask 3 of y'all because y'all really the youngest. Y'all in a world where everything is happening fast. This is the world that y'all grew up in. Everything is right now. I gotta have it right now. Right now. And if I don't get it right now, it's a problem. Everything is happening just like this. Boom, boom. Every time you turn around, something happening. It's all at your fingertip. Because when I was coming up, guess what they were saying? The kids are the future. Who is the kids? Y'all. So if my time when I was in school, they was telling me that, y'all are now that. So now that y'all here, It's saying the same thing, right? So everybody behind y'all is saying the same thing, but the lifestyle we live now is this. Everybody here with it. Everybody is in technology involved in the cyber world. So as long as I got you tapped into something where you don't have to pay attention to what's really going on, then I can give you that. That's a diversion. That's a distraction. But when you ready to have a real conversation and you ready to be on the same page, understand what you got to do. First of all, you got to walk into the library because you're not even opening. You don't even have the book open, let alone the same page. You got to get in the library first. So now that you in the library, now you can understand what book to look at. There's a lot of books in there, so you confused. What book do I grab? Okay, so now you grab the book. Everybody got the same book. Now we on it, and we got to read it, and we got to be on the same page. But guess what? Everybody don't want to read the book you want. They want to do their own thing. So now you got to convince them to be on your page, on your book. They don't want to. So how you make that happen? So guess what? You say scrap them because I can only deal with the people who want to deal with me, right? That's how people think in their everyday life, right? If you don't want to be around me, don't be around me. That's how people roll off, right? Like, hey, you ain't got to deal with me. I got my cool. I do my thing. You don't want to be here. You ain't got to be here. You could go, right? You don't have to be around me. You don't have to do nothing with me, right? That's how people feel, right? So with that being said, you got this Democrat and you got Republican Party, all ran by a system, all ran by the same system that's been set up since 1776 and before that, right here in this state. Now check that out. It's 50 states. Every state ain't the same. So now each state is governed by somebody else, right? And it's supposed to be another person, one person that's over all 50. So if I'm over all 50 and I'm telling all 50 what to do, but the 50 people are individually going to do what they want, right? They're not going to always agree or follow what I tell them because they like, well, I see that a little bit, but I'm going to still run it like this, right? So in your state, your governor is the control of your state. You got to listen to what the governor say. Then the governor is going to say, well, I got to listen to what the president say. And if they don't agree with the president say, so now the governor is telling the people what? That's politics. You, as a human being, should know right from wrong and know what to do. You shouldn't wait for somebody else to be telling you what you know is right to be doing. The problem that is arose in this country is that Black people don't feel very appreciated and equal to the things that are going on into the world. Oh, Black people are very responsible for the building structure of this whole country, which was, hijacked by some Europeans. So,
I don't know if it's the preview. I don't know if it's a preview.
Christopher Columbus, right, came over here, right, and founded the country, right. I'm gonna give you an example.
He said that.
I'm gonna give you an example of that. Check this out. You live over there. You live at. Y'all all got your own 3 houses. I can't come over to either one of y'all house. Y'all show me around y'all house, and then I tell you get out.
Right. You got me fucked up.
Exactly. That's Christopher Columbus.
Right.
All right. So now you smarter, so you're not going to allow that to happen to you, right? Just like being a slave, right? The term slave just sounds bad, but when you really think about it, it's really, helping somebody out until a debt is paid, basically, or being a servant to somebody for a period of time. Now, how you get treated doing that's the messed up part about it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to treat a slave wrong. You don't have to treat your maid wrong. You don't have to treat your neighbor wrong. You don't have to treat nobody wrong.
That's not a slave. Because what you said was being a slave is similar to somebody paying off the debt. How can I pay off the debt that I never borrowed?
That ain't always dealing with finance.
No. Anything. If we never worked out a contract, if we never spoke on terms.
Yeah.
So what's the debt?
Now.
Because Because if I have a contract with you, or if I set terms with you, and we have a negotiation, see, that's the thing about debt, terms, and working off something. There was a negotiation. There was never a negotiation for slaves.
They had no choice.
They came
Not
They
in
got
this
sold.
country,
They
no.
they got stolen. They got kidnapped, or whatever, however you want to put it. There was never a negotiation. So, and that's the difference. Now, I can be of service, and I can be a servant, but there was a negotiation that took place. Slaves, there was never a negotiation. It was get down or lay down.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
Whoa, that get down to lay down. That's an option.
Well, we all have options. Everything is an option.
But that option to get down and lay down, ain't gonna happen today. So there was a learning experience somewhere in between those years, right? It was a learning experience to the point where the slaves got free, because at some point they say, you know what? I'm not dealing with this no more. Okay, so now imagine if that happened in the beginning.
Is it a learning experience, or is it a brainwashing? Did you think that you're learning? See, what you're saying is rooted deep down in hatred. And yes, voting and the way that this country was set up or ran, not so much set up, but the way it was ran, it was rooted in hatred. But the only way that we can change that is by putting the people that have our best interests into office. And no, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Joe Biden has our best interests at heart. I'm not going to tell you that Donald Trump is the first person. I'm not going to put my opinion of those two onto someone else. What I would say is you would need to find out what fits your needs. Okay, so what works out best for you? Because it's not always about voting for something you want. A lot of times it's voting for something that you don't want. Sometimes it's the lesser of the two evils, but
Is it?
So I'll give you something real simple, right?
Yeah.
We'll go ground level. Okay. They put up a millage, right? We vote for a millage in my city. And the millage says you have to pay back, or you have to pay $5,000 in taxes over the course of 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
They say, okay, well, what is the millage for? And they say the millage is for the road, to fix the road. Well, you might be fine with the road, so you vote no. You might be driving over potholes every day, and you say, yo, they need to fix these roads, so you vote yes.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You're voting for what you want or what you don't want.
All right.
And I think that's where a lot of people mess up in voting or not voting or whatever it is. You have to educate yourself for what's going on, not only for the president, but you have to educate yourself on what's going on in your immediate area. So that is your city,
Right.
right? If you build a city, then that's how you get people in to these positions that you want. It doesn't matter if I vote in a Democratic or a Republican or whoever. When I have a judge that doesn't like me for the color of my skin. But guess what? I didn't know who that person was, and I voted for that person, and now they're a judge. Or I didn't vote, but 50 other people voted, so now they're a judge. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand.
Okay.
That's how you build it up.
Get me there. Okay. I'm that judge. I'm not the judge voted in. I'm that judge y'all voted in, right?
Yeah.
I don't like y'all.
Yeah.
Everybody around should be able to say, You know what? That ain't cool that he doing that to all the people that go in that courtroom like that. Like, why are we still allowing him to do something like that? Because guess what? If I was doing something crazy as touching kids or something like that, y'all wouldn't be allowing nobody allow me to do nothing like that. I'd be locked up. And when you know you see something wrong, you don't do it. You don't stop the wrong when you know it's wrong. That's the problem.
You can, and that's how the quote unquote founding father, that's how the government was initially supposed to be set up. It's for the people and run by the people.
Right. So if the people don't vote, then who do it?
Right. And the people who did vote.
No, I'm saying if the people are the people and the people make the choices, if those people don't do nothing at all, then who's making the rules? Because ain't nobody said nothing. If we the people and the people ain't said nothing, then how you gonna make a rule if the people ain't spoke?
Because that's my point. Over the years, well, hang on. Let me take it back even further. Black people have only recently been able to vote. We'll take that a step further. Women have only recently been able to vote. So, who's been doing all the voting? Well, it's been Caucasian men. And the Caucasian men sway the vote. So, they're going to vote in their best interest, right? Because they voted in their best interest, or they're going to vote for their buddies or their worker. And that's how the power of, quote unquote, power of the people has gone down. And the more that the majority of white women that are married to white men will vote the way of their husband. Whether they agree with it or not, they will vote the way of their husband. That's not my opinion. That's fact. That's backed by numbers. And so now you're fighting. You're fighting two people.
You find a white man and a white woman, and everybody that's not white or black got to be white on the outside. Like that's what it is, right? So now we including everybody. Now they saying. So check this out.
You're gonna get some people that feel a certain way about a certain candidate, then they're not gonna vote for them. People get hung up in voting for the person and not the policy.
But
you have to see the policy.
Let's speak just on policy. Only on policy.
Okay.
If we speak in policy, that's just legislation. We just need somebody to sign off on that. There ain't no vote that need to be done. Hey, write that off.
But who's going to sign off on it when
the person in charge? The person in charge
don't have the majority.
Check it out. I need a bank loan. I don't need to talk to the cashier. I need to talk to the bank manager. That's the person who can sign off on it. The cashier can't sign off on no bank loan. Get me to the bank manager.
But the way the government is set up, that if you look at it as the way a bank is set up, you have the bank manager and you have what? The tellers?
Yeah.
Right? Well, the way the government is set up, the tellers have more say-so than the manager.
In perception.
And so
because it's been allowed. Because if we the people, the people got the voice.
No.
Because they filter what information gets to the manager.
Because people have been
not only can they filter, but when you want to put a policy into effect, when you want to put a law into effect, it has to be voted on in the House.
Why?
Well, if the House is majority Republican, and the Republicans all get together and say, we're going to turn this down, guess what?
That key word in there is it has to be voted on. This is what I'm talking about. Why are people going through all these rules to vote on something that you know is wrong? Is my point. We ain't got to ask 50 people in this room. You know these people have been getting treated wrong. When you wrong them, you need to be jailed.
Because
period. Ain't no if and a but.
but the problem is you're putting morals into it. And
But
a
this
lot of
country was set up
have
on Christian
lot-
values,
And
moral
everybody's
values.
a lot of these people don't have morals.
What you think
A
is
lot of
wrong,
these
the next
They think it's right.
white person might not think is wrong.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point of the vote, right?
What?
That's the whole point of a vote.
That's the point of that is the point
Right.
of a
Those
vote.
people over there think I'm wrong, so I need more people on my side that feel as right, so we can overturn them.
And you're making my point.
Right. So I'm confused. So what are you trying to say?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm trying to say is that if you know those people are wrong, they're gonna be stuck in their mindset that they wrong.
Who are those people?
Yeah.
Those people that's making rules, right? They're not gonna change.
How did those people come to be? And I think that's the point that Anthony's trying to make.
Yeah, they in there because they in there, right? So that can't change. So now we're saying we vote for them to change, right? Yeah. So now we vote to get them out.
No.
But what if?
No.
Right.
They're not in there because they're in there. They in there because they
voted
got
in.
voted. They got voted in there.
That's
so in order to get the, if you try to turn shit to sugar, you can't leave the shit on the ground, bro. You can't plant a sugar cane under shit. It don't work.
So
yeah, you can.
Voting people out is the rule. Is the game. I'm gonna vote you out.
You have to vote out the bad and put in the good, and you will get change.
And here's, I think, something that I think what we as a whole are failing to realize, which even myself kind of just came to that little more realization when Anthony's talking, is it's going to take time. The president changes every 4 years, but the people who are in the positions of the House and the Senate, they stay in much longer.
Why?
So I don't know why. I don't know who made the rules, but there's people in other positions that still have say over the president, that they collectively have say,
because
that they're still old white dudes, because people aren't voting on a local level. They only now care to vote once it gets past all that shit. Now we only have a Trump and a Biden.
Right.
Mind you, all the presidents from the last since 1990, since all presidents since George Bush Sr. all did 8 years. Yes, he technically did 4, but he was a vice president for 4 years too. So that's 8.
My point is, which I think is Anthony. Go ahead. Okay. I'm saying that I think that your point is, and maybe even to extend that information out to Chad and just to all of us, especially the people in the young generation, because we all have these voices, we all have these social media platforms and all that stuff, is we definitely really need to stay in tune with what's going on a local level, because what's going on a local level is going to work its way up to a federal level and become presidential. So once we get up there, we will have better options to choose from, because
that's what I've gotten. That's what a lot of people have told me too.
Man,
I've gotten that over a lot.
I'm gonna tell you what I got. You control your own situation. You don't need anybody to control your situation. So if you want better, you gotta do better. You want your neighborhood better, you gotta make your neighborhood better. With that being said,
you have to figure out what you can do to make that better.
Nah,
you can't control your neighbor's household.
This podcast got started with me doing it. So it don't take nothing for you to go next door and say, nah, hey man, what can I do for you? What can we do for each other? You know what? Let's all just pick this trash up real quick. That's being responsible and holding yourself accountable for your actions. Stuff just don't get terrible and mess up on its own, right? Hold on.
You're right.
And hold on. And let's not take this for me saying the conditions that we currently live in. That's all right. We all know that was all set up and made. I'm only speaking from right now. You can clean up your situation. You don't have to accept the stuff that's been done or just you've been living in. A hoarder, for instance, they get people to come clean their house out. It didn't clean itself out. And
but you have to think about the things that we can't
became a hoarder, right? Over time, they became a hoarder.
Yeah, you're making a good point, because you're right. You're right. People do have choices and they do control their environment. But you have to realize that everybody doesn't think logically. Everyone doesn't make good decisions. That's why when we're thinking about anti-police and let us be, hell no. Hell no. People are crazy. Some people are literally diagnosed crazy. But they have the same rights we do and all this shit. No, we need structure. America was built on a democracy, but it has definitely been skewed in the favor of the white man. And that's not made up. That just is what it is. We all feel it. We all know it. It's our reality. To kind of give credit to what you're saying in order to take control of our environment, to take control of our community, to have a say on what happens on our block. Maybe I'm going to go run for mayor. Maybe I'm going to go run for state representative. What am I going to talk about? But I'm not going, Tiara Caldwell ain't doing that. I don't give a shit to do that. But what can Tiara Caldwell do to make sure that what I think is going to be put into play? So I need to make sure that I'm voting for somebody who gives a shit about the same things that I care about, or at least the most, because I don't think there's ever going to be one person that agrees with everything. And that's why we can't just say that, oh, everybody can just control, what you can control, because sometimes you can't. I can't change what funding the school that's around the corner gets. I can't change that. But I can vote on somebody who has the power to say something about it.
Right. Now that that's done, I'm going to hold y'all down. I'm going to take care of the block. I'm going to take care of the community. I'm in.
And we're holding you accountable to holding.
Right. So now I'm in there. Now I'm in DC. Like, yo, I got some people that's looking for me to hold them down. I need this bread. They like, that ain't on the agenda right now, James. We got sector so-and-so that we got to do. I said, hold on, man. I just promised all these people right here, I'm finna come through for them. Yeah, well, they ain't in the budget right now, bro. We got something else we got to work on. So the truth is, y'all voted me in, and I got in, right? Which was the right thing to do. We voted the right person in. I'm in, but now I still can't carry out what I said I was gonna do because it's still another block in front of me stopping me. So yeah, my foot in the door. But it's still something stopping me. But what we can do immediately is all pitch in to help, period. That don't take nothing but a human. It don't take no money, no nothing. We just all, hey, that's just one-on-one ground level stuff to help, period. That's what.
And we've seen that.
Want, right? Everybody want help,
the Flint
right?
water crisis. The Flint water crisis. The citizens of Flint couldn't change that situation, so they did what they could. They were relying on their government to fix it for them. They couldn't, so they pulled together. But still, guess what? It's not fixed. All the pulling together in the world couldn't fix it. There has to be somebody up high that cares too.
Money.
And at the end of that, they're getting sued. You could get lawsuits, but how much money can you get that's going to replace, lives that was lost? See what I'm saying? So are we basing?
But we're trying to avoid losing lives later. We can't change what happened, but how can we change the structure, go forward, raise money, redo all the pipelines in the city? We can't afford that, but holy shit.
Money is the biggest.
For everybody.
Money is the biggest problem with pretty much everything. It's greed.
Yeah.
A lot of greed.
Do you know what money is made out of? Any idea?
Paper.
I feel like you're going to tell me something more abstract.
I am.
I was just going to say paper.
Yeah, it's form paper. Here, you got any guess? The content in the paper. It's 75% cotton and 25% linen. That's the money that we have. So when you think about them cotton fields,
that's as soon as you said cotton, that's what came to my mind.
No, of course, that's exactly what I thought about.
First thing that came to my mind.
So not only have people been slaving in the fields, but that same stuff is going into the paper that we're dying over, and we're not even valued as a full person. But we can help you like a full person, but we ain't valued like a full person. You see what I'm saying? When you come up with your own group, you segregate yourself from other people. and you don't care about what group is going on over there. And in high school, people had their own little cliques at their lunch tables and stuff like that. And you knew what tables they was. You knew this table was the so-and-so table, that table, you know what I'm saying? But neither one of those tables cared about whoever was around. They only cared about the people that was coming to their joint, right? It wasn't like these people was trying to run the whole lunchroom. You feel me? It was
you know how that came about?
segregation.
Because people was not even segregation. Slaves are brainwashed into thinking that way. Right? That's how they got slaves to stay on the plantation.
How you brainwash a person? See, that can happen back then, but see, that type of stuff can't. I don't feel like that could happen now. I think people just way too smart.
We're brainwashed right now.
It happens now, bro.
We brainwashed?
Yeah.
Well, my brain's still dirty.
You just asked. You said how are they? You said how they brainwash it, and you just gave us a whole breakdown on how they advertise to people. That's brainwashing.
That's happening.
But just because James Roy isn't being
there we go. There's the thing. It just went off of my light. Why are you accepting that?
But that's the
thing. How do people accept what's given to them?
But not everybody accepts it. But some
what's
people.
What's the name of your podcast?
I just think different.
Exactly, but the majority doesn't. The majority moves like sheep.
But you got to move like a sheep because you mock sheep. You see that? That's all like a. Is that not like a trained mindset to see that?
But if you're used to thinking a certain way, it's hard to get out of that thought process.
Right.
Exactly.
So you saying it's hard to think for yourself when somebody else has been thinking for you.
Or if you feel like I can only imagine in a slave's mind. Let me just take it to James Kiff, right? My great-grandfather. He picked cotton and was happy about it. He will tell you right now to this day, I was happy as hell to do it. I'm not going to say he was brainwashed. I can't speak for him, but I know those are words that came straight out of his mouth. So given his life circumstances, he was happy to do something. When he started working for Buick, he was making 25 cents. Black man couldn't do other things. He said, I was happy as hell to do it. Those slaves out in the field picking cotton back in the day, I'm not going to speak for them, can't. But I can only imagine it was easy to be brainwashed because they were only given so much. This is your freedom. This is where you stay. If you leave here, people are going to kill you.
Yeah. It's either death. It's either death or work.
You know, it's either protected here.
Get down or lay down.
You know?
Then you got to think some of the black women back then was sitting there getting, people were slaves, but then the black women were raped.
Oh, that's how I got here.
And making them take care of the kids, and it was a whole bunch of stuff back then.
Yeah. But
can that happen now?
Not a chance.
Why?
I would say
no. Why can't that happen now?
Because we've seen history. I can't say. Of course, this is just my opinion. But we have too much freedoms. There's too many laws that wouldn't even allow that type of thing to happen. But it's happening on a different level. Mass incarceration.
Reroute.
Mass incarceration. Okay, now that you've been a felon, now you can't vote. So boom, voter suppression.
Reroute it.
So we're gonna make sure all black people are really the one. Police. They haven't been told directly, but target black folks because if we control that population, keep them incarcerated, they can't vote. Less people that can vote. Women ain't gonna really vote because they're just gonna follow what their men do.
Yeah.
A lot of people who are married, it's more white people. You know what I'm saying? The white people are more. I don't even want to put it like that, but I do feel like white women are gonna be more submissive and less. They're gonna do whatever their husbands say. You know what I'm saying?
They are more.
I do feel like it.
That's a fact.
And I feel that way, and I just think that maybe that's what brainwashing looks like. It's happening so effortlessly within ingrained in our society that we don't even see it, and we don't even have to label it as brainwashing. But in a small category, it might be considered I'm not going to call it slavery either, but it's the same types of concept of controlling, you know? So when I get really heartbroken when I see people, because it's not even like I'm so gung-ho on voting, but because there's not a lot of things that and I can take accountability for a lack of education just because I don't care about a lot of things. Because I'm just controlling my household, right? But
Right.
at some point, we have to realize that if 2028 taught me nothing, I got to be in tune with what's going on with more than what's just in my household.
And that's why I said I would, even though I got to do it myself, but I like to hear different point of views on it. I've never voted because, you know, growing up, it wasn't in the household.
Same.
My mom didn't vote.
Same.
You know, so it was our whole, and especially being black, like the thought is,
And
okay, well, they don't care about, you know, they don't care about us.
Right.
Especially where I'm from.
Right.
You know, like it doesn't, okay, if I vote for a president, what does he do for me? That's the classic black person saying.
Yeah.
What they doing for me? They're not doing anything for me. They ain't giving me no money. That's always been the thought. And that's something we got to get out, like, of our psyche. That's always been there. So you think about it. I've known that I'm 33 now, so that's been in my head for so long. And now it's like, you think about it now, like, nah, you gotta vote.
Definitely.
For something or somebody. Attention. So
because the vote you're doing now ain't necessarily for you, it's about what's behind you.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I think about my kids.
You're voting to not be selfish. So if you don't vote, you selfish.
I wouldn't label it as that. You could also just be ignorant.
Yeah. And then in my case, it's like, dang, like, who do I pick?
Yeah.
You know, like,
in the last election, I felt like I didn't vote. And then I'm gonna be honest with you, there was only one time that I voted. I'm sure we can all guess when that time was.
Me too. That's the only time I did too.
8 years ago. 8 years ago. 8 years ago, when Obama first was running, I'm like, oh shit, they got a black man. I'm voting. Period.
I'll be honest with you.
I don't care what he stands for. Black man.
And that almost was my first time, but I still didn't.
And then when he ran again, guess who didn't go vote? I didn't care anymore. It didn't feel special or something. I can't speak on why I didn't, because I just didn't. You know? And then when it was Trump and Hillary, I was going to vote. I literally was en route to the polls, but I just was like so torn. I'm like, I literally don't know what to do right now. Is how I felt. Like I was so like,
I'll take it there, like with Hillary, all that stuff that was coming out about her, and then about Russia, Bill, and I'm like, you know, Bill was sitting there, was talking about him like being around that guy that what's his name, Epstein.
Yeah.
That dude, like, you think about that, and all those years, black people was like, oh, he's black and all this, and
now let me line this up.
That's why I don't trust. You know.
Let me line this up. You got the 90s when George Bush Sr. comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, just came in from the 80s thing. We know what happened in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So
you getting crazy.
All right, so you fresh off that with a 4-piece. Now you do a 4-piece running it yourself, right? After he gets in, who was the next president? Clinton, right? Where Clinton from? Hope, Arkansas. They're hitting you with the Hope, right? He was a person that was looked at as the black dude, right? You know, smoke weed, play the saxophone, cool stuff, right? Like you just said, right, Chad?
Yep.
Now, right after him, who comes? We got Bush again. Junior coming on up in here now. Now we got Junior, but guess when he came in? When Junior came in, let me rewind it back a little bit. My bad. Oh, the quote unquote black president that you had, was white, got involved with controversy. You know what I'm saying? He getting a little top. You know what I'm saying? So he fondling, going around. Mind you, who knows how many other presidents did whatever, right? His stuff just out in the open. This is what's going on. So we gonna nail this to you. You gotta deal with it. All right. Cool. Now moving forward. Now Hillary was his wife, right? Moving forward, we got George W. Bush Jr. coming. George Bush Jr. coming in, right? He comes in at 9/11. Oh man, the time on the country is all messed up. Like, whoa, we just got hit with an attack. Like, oh, we need somebody to rally behind, right? But truth be told, people hated him too. They wanted him to get out so bad. Didn't want to be there. Why was they so? Because guess who was in there before Barack got in there? Bush, right?
Yeah.
So everybody was saying, man, we gotta go vote. And guess what? It was no choice but another person to be in here. Why? Because he did 8 years. So this 8-year trend is still going, right? Because Clinton did 8, Bush did 8, Bush did 8. So now wait. So now we got we got an official black man running for president. Check the scene. Let me build it up. Got an official black man running for president. Meanwhile, we go test the waters with the women. So what we go do? We go put a woman to sit up there and run against us. So what? Sarah Palin come out of nowhere. Where's she from? Alaska. Where's Alaska backdoor to? Russia, right? Check this out. Still follow me. The backdoor to Alaska, oh, you could almost walk to Russia and China, right? Yeah. That's real talk. Looking at a global map. Also, when you in Alaska, when you think of Alaska, don't you think of like Eskimos and stuff? When you think of Eskimo, don't you think of like a little like some type of kind of an Asian type of person or something like that? Some Asianish, little eyes, little low haircut, right? What an Eskimo, right? What do you think about Eskimo when you see Eskimo, right? Something around there, right? So if that's in Alaska, right? And Alaska is the back door to China, Russia. Don't you think if this is history thousands of years ago, we've already been over here, all off in the back of the country, all done travel, all through Canada, all over through the western side of the United States. But see, here come the Europeans coming in from the east side. They attacked the east side. And when they attacked the east side, they came upon some land where people was already here. Where you come from? Oh, we already backdoored it. Right, because what native people look like? I'm not saying they Asian, but I'm saying, but you know, they got a little bit different tone to them, right? That's all backdoor stuff, right? Just think about it. Geographically, if the world changed and the world moved down, they spread out. So now let's bring it back to what I'm talking about. Now we sitting here dealing with we trying to bring a woman into play to run things. You just throw it in there. I don't know if they can win or not. Just throw it in there. Put that in the box. Black man wins. Oh, he finally got in there. So everybody on the black dude, right? Now while he's in there, he get an 8-piece. The second time that he was up for his next bid, who they put in there? Another woman. All right, so we keep pushing that. Boom. This time the woman that comes around happens to be already a part of the system because why? Your husband was already in the game, right? So, we got you in there with the whole mix. All y'all teamed up, buddy, build it up, paint it however you want. But the facts is that we put another woman in the play. All right. Now, not only do we put another woman in play, he get the 4-piece again. So that's 8 bid. So now it's the next time. Black man can't run no more. We got a new joint coming in. We gonna hit you with somebody that ain't got nothing to do with politics at all. We just a random blow Joe, right? Versus who was running against Trump the first time? Oh man, that woman again. Oh man, that same woman, right? He's still pushing that woman. And who else was running? Was trying to get up in there and got cut short. You see what I'm saying? Now this time around, you got Biden. What was Biden? In office for 4 years already. Well, eight bag already. Excuse me. You did the 8 bag already with your man, right? Already. But now you coming back into play to try to run the game again. And you're responsible for signing a crime bill that got people messed up and jacked up with the same dude that Clinton do, right? That's all back in that time period, right? So now you've changed. You a changed man. My bad. I didn't mean to sign that. That was just messed up. We shouldn't have did that. And Trump, don't nobody like Trump, right? They say whatever. They don't like.
Think he's funny, though.
We want to get him out. He gone, right? All right.
What?
So now you
I said
saying it's the
I said I
lesser
think he's
of
funny.
two evils. Like what
Trump?
is the lesser
Yeah, I
of
don't like him,
two?
but I think he's funny.
Sorry.
If you got one dude that you say is a racist and the other dude responsible for putting you in jail, what's the difference? So now you're saying the lesser of two evils. Where does that put me? Still. So you still putting me in the same box of I'm still getting screwed.
And that's fine.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I already know the argument. You just won't change.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate that this is our
Options.
change.
Yeah. That's why we have to start being agents of change on a more municipal level.
True. And I also say everything starting at house. Once you got your house under control, everything is much better because you're setting better examples and you're really setting true leadership. Actually,
I was just gonna say that.
everybody want to lead, but
have
don't
to
nobody
train 'em
lead.
up.
Yep, you're right. Bring them up. Everybody want to lead.
You have to train them up. You're not gonna get these. You're not gonna get anybody in they. I shouldn't say anybody, but a lot of younger 20s right now. It's gonna be tough to get them into politics. But like my kids are going to be your next presidents and government officials and judges.
Right.
If you train them up, they're sponges right now. They will soak up all of that. You know, Angelo will argue you under the table. He is like a natural lawyer. If I train him to do something else, he's going to be a sponge and he's going to do that. But if I train him up and he has the thought process that he can go in and be in Congress or be a Supreme Court judge or be the president, they're going to strive to do that. If they don't do that, it's okay. But we will go hours in on this topic, and you know how I feel about it. The first thing black people want to do is go grab a damn basketball when they got a son, or they want to go put their daughter and on Instagram or whatever the hell it was back then and show them off and do all of this. And it's the same old shuck and jive, right? Whereas if we start training these kids to be doctors, lawyers, scientists, and everything that actually runs the country, then you will change the country.
Being a boy adult and doing the right things necessary to raise a proper child. Raise a proper environment. But now I use the excuse, you know what, my environment is messed up and I can't operate in this environment. My environment is trashed.
It's the same thing like I said. If you want your kids to be successful, you have to be successful. And I'm not talking about monetary when I say that, but having a sense of pride and being okay with, waking up and going to a job or starting a business. And it's never a failure. If your business doesn't succeed, it doesn't mean you didn't succeed, because now you have that life lesson to pass it on to your child. And when you pass it on to your child and they get the idea that they want to start a business, you have input on that. You can say, hey, listen, this is how I did it. And they'll say, well, Dad, what happened? Well, Mom, what happened? It didn't, it didn't work out. And you say, no, but these are the things that I did. So maybe you can do your steps different.
Yeah.
The failure is never even trying. The failure is not having enough respect within yourself to go out and be an example. You have to be an example. And if we are not examples, we'll never change this country, because the people who run this country, their kids have the example. Their kids start off on the better foot.
Yeah.
And that's what I say. It's always deeper than just, hey, okay, we got to put the people in office. Yeah, we have to put the people in office, but we have to put the people in office with the right mindset. We can't put the dude in office to get in there and then go to, as the saying goes, messing up the church's money.
Same shuck and
You can't
jive.
do that. Same fucking shucking and jiving, bro. It don't work.
Nah.
You have to get in. You have to. I can't fault them because they might not have had that mindset, but I can raise the next leaders of the country that will have that mindset. And if I raise my kids that way, and you raise your kids that way, and Chad raises his kids that way, and Sierra raises her kids that way, it starts to be infectious, and it starts to move on to other households and other communities, and that's how you make the change. And when they come to burn it down, and you know they're gonna come to burn it down, we'll be strong enough to rebuild it and build it better. If you want Wakanda, you have to build Wakanda.
All right. And that starts, with just doing that, starting at home, laying the right foundation. But again, how can I lay a foundation if my stuff is already corrupted? My stuff is already messed up. How do I better my situation if I'm already set to fail?
But you just said, how can I change if I'm built to fail? It starts with the mind. That's the strongest muscle in the mind. It's the most powerful tool you have. So if you change your mindset, then your words become actions. Your actions become words.
Most of us need hope to have a vision.
Yeah, exactly. I've changed my mentality. I've changed my actions. I've changed my household. If I go home and I crack open a 40 and I start disrupting to my household, the dynamic of my household is going to change. If I go home and I crack open a book and I feed my brain and continue to grow and gain knowledge to help out my house, it will only help out my community.
And you making that sacrifice to go get that knowledge.
That's the only way. That's the only way that you'll ever be successful is to make those sacrifices to get ahead. Right? And nothing from nothing is nothing. Right? So it's managing and leveraging your actions and your reactions, because those will lead to consequences or not consequences. We'll say that those will lead to successes or failures.
Right.
I told you all the time, if you never, I'm gonna go back to the podcast. If you never started the podcast, then you failed. If you start the podcast and it doesn't work out, it's a success because you at least have learned from it and you have an experience to now teach someone else.
Right. So, in other words, human beings have to be a learning vessel and a tool for others around them. Again, like I say, that just goes into being accountable for your own actions and wanting to do good at all times. That seems to be a hard thing to do if I'm surrounded and engulfed in negativity. So how do I remove myself from this negativity if there seems to be no way out?
Be the example.
That's called pushing through. You gotta have that faith to push through and make it happen. So you're just telling me at the end of the day, I just gotta do it. I just gotta make it happen because it ain't gonna happen on its own. So people gotta have that mindset, dog. We gotta make this work for ourselves. Like nobody's gonna do this for us, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I tell you all the time. You know, you be like, man, you know, what do you do with your kids, or you know, you doing this or you doing that, and it's because I have to. I have to be the example because I didn't have that example. I had an example, but in my mind, it wasn't the best example. So I need to be the best example for my kids. And it goes right back to what I was saying. If I can be successful within myself, then that will only leak on to my kids. And at the end of the day, yes, they will be their own beings and make their own choices. If I could be a good example of the right choice, then in some degree I've done my job. But that's what we have to be to the community. And then in turn, we will change our local cities and our state governments and then on to, you know, presidential statures and Supreme Court statures and things like that.
By leading by example. See, I think everybody want to lead, but don't nobody lead. You know, it's hard to lead when you you don't know how. But everybody can micromanage. Everybody can tell you what not to do.
But see,
like, hey,
that. But to me, it's harder to follow than it is to lead. If I have to keep up with you, that means I got to keep up with your shit and mine. That's hard. When I can just keep up with my shit and lead with myself, it's all to me. It's always been harder to follow.
So,
oh man, you went got a pair of Jordans. Now I got to get a pair. You went and got this. Now I got to get this. Oh my gosh! And I got to be me.
Oh, so you saying keeping up with Jones is hard to do?
I mean, yeah. If you want to put it that way, then yeah. But it's just to follow. It's always been to me. It's always been hard to follow. But when you look at our community, we breed followers, right? Because just what you said, it's harder to lead than it is. It's hard to be a leader. Nobody wants to lead. It's not hard to be a leader, not at all.
Right.
But if you keep saying that, then in your mind, you're going to believe that. If I tell myself I'm ugly every day, eventually I will start to believe that I'm ugly. If I tell you I'm beautiful, or I tell myself that I'm beautiful every day, I'm going to feel like I'm beautiful. Well, guess what? I tell my daughter all the time, you're beautiful, you're pretty. You know what she does when she walks up? Daddy, I'm so pretty. Yes, you are. And I'm never going to tell her she's not.
Right.
Because I need her to have that confidence.
Right.
So when she goes out into the world, that will go into other things. It will start to manifest into other things. Daddy, I'm smart. Yes, you are. You're so intelligent. You're so smart. You can do anything, right? And when she goes out into the world and she has that self-confidence, she won't look to follow. She will be a leader. I have to tell my son every day. He'll say, I can't do this work. Yes, you can. You can do it. And that's one of the things in the Black community, especially with young Black males, they've been told that they can't do so much. And then what they go tell their friends? Oh, man, you can't do that. What was the first thing you said? Hey, man, I can throw this football down the street. Oh, man, you can't do that. Oh, I can do this. Oh, man, you can't do that. You start to believe it.
Right.
And that's when I tell you, when you say, man, you know, brainwash, you can't brainwash right now. You can brainwash because they do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's in everything, bro. It's in you looking at the news and they shot another black man. There's kids involved, not in every case, but in a lot of cases there's kids involved. Now you don't have a black male in their house. They pride themselves on not having black men in the house to the point where they give you money if you don't have the father in the house.
Right.
Oh, then you know what? If he's not in the house, I give you $2,500 a month so you can go feed your kids. I give you special housing.
Mm.
That to me ain't shit, but to them, it's a place to live.
Now that's for the.
And now they got food on the table, and now they not going out trying to further themselves.
And that's all because no black male present.
Or you have a house and you're in a community, but you just happen to be not all over your kids' back, and your kids went out and did something, or your kids were walking to school, and now your daughter got kidnapped, your son got kidnapped, and now they getting put in these sex rings, or they being sold off to people so they can have kids. So when I tell you it's deep, it's deep. It's not just, you know, oh man, they can't brainwash with this and that and the third. It's so embedded in hatred that it's going to take years to change that. But you have to start to change. And we have to start looking out for one another. I tell you all the time, bro, that the Jewish people look out for Jewish people, right? The Asians look out for Asians. The Hispanics look out for Hispanics. We the only culture that don't do that. You ask me how we build up and get a house. I laid it out to you. If I buy a house and we all get together and pool all of our money together and pay off my house, and then we do it, and then we pull all of our money together again and go buy you a house, and we pull all of our money together again and go buy, you know, the next person a house.
We can have a new Black Wall Street
community. Why you think Jewish people all live in one big ass community, and they all buy each other houses, and then they all frequent each other businesses? If a Jewish man go to court, do you think he's not going to be represented by another Jewish person? If a black man go to court, he's going to be represented, in most cases, by somebody that is not his ethnicity. That's how do you win against that? Well, you train up the next generation. And when you train up the next generation and you change the thought process, you're going to change the community. In turn, you will change the nation.
Yeah. You got to take that step, though.
And I know words is easier, you know, said than you know, action. But, you know, you said, how do you change? You put it into action.
You got to have action, man. You got to have action. You have to apply yourself to the scenario. You got to be the light. You got to be the light,
continue to feed the mind. And when you gain knowledge, share it. Don't hold it. Share it. We are so as a culture, we are so scared of someone taking our spot. You know why we're scared of taking our spot? Because it has been beaten into us. You know, Jeremiah, you know, I'm gonna give that spot to Jebediah over there if you don't do this. And then now you looking at Jebediah like, you know, Master said you want my spot. Jebediah like, what are you talking about? He said, yeah, you came over and you said you wanted to do that job. And now you getting fighting amongst everybody. And now you're scared to lose that spot. But it has been years and years and years of it being pounded into you. I don't agree with everything Kanye say, but I damn sure agree with Kanye when he said they made us hate ourselves and love their wealth. That is a true statement.
And to get away from that, you can't. Because what? You fighting for the paper. The papers were running everything, right? But if you eliminate paper, you still have a responsibility to do right and to still lead and to still set an example. You can't have a money-based mentality without having a ready to lead mentality of doing things proper and legitimate first.
But none of what I said it had to do with money.
Right. It was all action, getting up off that tail.
That was the training. That was the brainwashing mentality that has been put into your mind. Is, oh, you can't do it without the money. I do it without money all the time. You do it without money all the time when you talk to someone, and be a lending ear.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
They talk about the mental health in the Black community, and a lot of people think that that's not real, and it's very real. Because everything of what I'm saying has to do with your mental health. If you wake up like, man, I ain't got no money and I can't do this or this and that, or I'm a failure, that goes into your mental health. And you changing that thought process will strengthen your mental health.
Yes.
I don't have the biggest house on the block. I don't have the biggest house in the community. Hell, if you talk to me long enough, you'll know that I feel like I'm one less room short. I need one more room.
Right.
At least.
Right.
But I had to start somewhere.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And your start wasn't a trash start, man. Your start wasn't in a messed up environment start either, you know?
Yeah. But you know who helped train my thought process? Was my mom.
Parenting.
Because she said that at some point in life, she made it up in her mind that she had to train this little black boy to be stronger than what society may have thought that I was.
Mm. That's big.
And you know what kind of walls I have to go over. You know that everybody, not everybody, but people have looked at me and have thought that, oh man, you work at General Motors, you got it made. And I go home and they don't even know that I'm laid off. I have never even worked a full year in General Motors, and I've been there almost 5 years.
I'm gonna head out, Unc. It's been good talking to you.
For sure.
Call me whenever.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
But it's the training to stick into it. And I'm 38 years old, and my mom tells me all the time, hey, I know it's hard, So hang in there. You got to stay in there. You got to do it.
Yeah, that's
And
big.
what do I tell you all the time? Bro, you got to do it. Because if you don't do it, who will?
Right.
So now my training is your training. Because her words are now my words. And my words are now your words.
Right.
You feel me?
Yep.
And so I, and every time you got to go in and you have to, you have to get that strength to know that even when you get knocked down, you can still do it. It's still a learning lesson. You can still be great.
Mm-hmm.
Some days, I fraud it. That's our saying. Between me, you, and B, I will go out there and frog it, bro, and that's all I got. And since we on the podcast, I will share fraud. That is fully relying on God, and that's all I have. I am so beat down that that's all I have.
Mm.
But if that's all I have, I don't need nothing else.
Oh man, you preaching to the world now. Let them know something. Tell them again.
I mean, that's just the way I roll, man. That's the way I roll. Some days you have to frog it, bro. You have to fully rely on God. You have to frog it because you yourself will not have the willpower to do it.
Not at all.
But if you believe, then you will get over that hump. You will get over that wall. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's not going to be another wall to come your way or a door that you got to open or a fence to climb.
Right.
But if you take the learning lessons that you learned from the first wall you got over, you can get over the second wall a whole lot easier.
That's true.
And rely on your people. That's why I say it again, man. This podcast, you may or may not know, will be so important because it gives someone an outlet. It's someone like Quay, an outlet, right? Mm-hmm. Someone like me, an outlet to listen and learn or help teach.
All right.
I don't know everything about marriage, but I can take how long I've been married, bro? 12, 13 years?
Yeah. 7.
Something like that.
7.
Right? Some 15 years? Something. I don't even lost count.
7.
I don't know it all, but the stuff that I've learned, I can, share that information.
Right.
Whether I was wrong or right.
Yep. That's a long time too. And yo, you almost 15 years in, man.
Yeah. There you go. 15. I knew it was something like that.
Almost 15 years in,
And then when 19? That's how I go, 15 to 19. That's all right.
Yeah, 13, man. But 15 years, that's almost like a milestone. I feel like 1 year is a milestone. Shoot, man. Every 5, I feel like it's a milestone, man. It's like, yo, the stuff that you deal with day in and day out. I mean, but at the end of the day, that's what you sign up for, to be with, for, eternity. But people don't understand what happens when the lights close and you at home and you in your spot. You know what I'm saying? Everybody always got a idea, of what's going on. Nobody really know what's going on in your life, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when you express that and try to tell somebody, they like, nah, that can't be. You like, no, this is what happens at home. They like, wow, like I didn't know that because everybody always think everybody's stuff is peachy cream until you start seeing some physical stuff. Like hey man, I noticed you've been wearing a lot of glasses lately. Like every time I see you, like you got the big joints too, not the they covering up your whole eye. Like what's going on, man? Like nah, man, I got new contacts, can't really see well, LASIK. Like nah, somebody over there doing something they shouldn't be doing. You know what I'm saying? And now it's a awareness of concern. It's like, yo, that's not cool. Like, where did that come from? So that's a big deal.
Hey, man, did we lose everybody? Everybody go?
Yeah, they gone. It's just me and you now.
Oh, okay.
You got the link?
Yeah, but I'm driving.
Yo, thought you had that cup. That set the phone up cup.
Oh, no, I don't. I'm in the little coat box.
How far are you from home?
What, about 20 minutes?
Wow. That's
right by Great Lake.
We've been here 2:40 right here. I've been on this for 3 hours and 10 minutes. Look, I done spoke for 3 hours and 10 minutes already. Just crazy. See, time just be flying, man. You don't even realize it. Now, I'll be honest, cause I sit myself and listen to my own self-talk for 3 hours. I just did it. You know what I'm saying? But you don't even realize it. Now, can I go back and review this for another 3 hours?
Well, I mean,
price.
Every topic may not go 3 hours. You covered a lot of topics, though. You went to about 4 things.
Yeah.
5 things, something like that. You went to a lot. When you focus on one topic, you may only have an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Every topic is not going to
roll out like that.
Hold the same. Yeah, it might not hold the same weight, but.
Yeah, my whole thing with this podcast is just to get better, and ultimately, do what I was sitting here for, man. You know what it is. Be that light. So I just want to have this in a positive format, and just reach as many as people as possible who can relate, not relate, have a conversation, not have a conversation, but it's available if you want it. And why not have that conversation? Any conversation is willing to be had. Anybody could have a conversation. Let's talk, I just seen, how the government run. I just seen Pence today, and they shut down a whole entire block, the freeway, everything, just to let him roll through. And I was like, whoa, like they shut down stuff just for vice presidents to roll through in a motorcade. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang. And then I get to thinking, like, if you real destructive and you a real like a terrorist or something like that, like those be opportunities, that like wow, like they just riding straight past here. There's no real.
Yeah, but that's why they shut it down. So you can't do that, or you can't go set up shop.
I mean, you got.
There are so many tops that are so far ahead that you don't even really recognize that are that far ahead, that are either scoping the scene, blocking things off, and
they were,
everything like that.
They had 3 exits on lock.
And they also go into more open areas.
Yep.
So there's less places to hide.
So that's crazy. That don't even happen in DC though. Like I see the motorcades in DC, they operate different. You know what I'm saying? Than off base. Like when you in the land of the government, they move a lot different.
They got.
Oh man.
I would imagine they got that whole thing on lock.
Oh, yeah, DC is a different swing, man. When you see how they roll in there, it looked like one of the movies for real. It looked like
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you passed people that you didn't even know was holding, and it was protecting government and officials and things like that, just keeping the scene.
Right.
When they just in plain clothes and, walking around with, coffee beanery cups and crap like that.
Surprisingly, man, the Secret Service and other law enforcement that's around DC and the Capitol and things of that nature are not really aggressive. Matter of fact, not aggressive at all from my personal contact. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been treated wrongfully by any one of these people, and they answer any question that I ask. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they putting the press on you.
They shouldn't be aggressive until they need to be aggressive. That's not the point of them being out there, is to scare you.
But they law enforcement.
Yeah.
So all law enforcement ain't like aggressive like that. You see what I'm saying? The point I'm making is these are law enforcement in the Capitol, right? They in the core essence of the
the whole purpose of the law enforcement is not to sit there. Well, we're not gonna get all the way into the beginning of the law enforcement.
Well, their name is in itself the enforcer. So you meant to go enforce these rules, just like the Roman guards used to snatch people up. Hey, man. Even when you watch something like Aladdin, when they running after Aladdin, he was running through there stealing stuff, and they was running. Hey, yo, they had people, snatching up people, getting people, man, throw them in a dungeon, throw them in a dungeon. You know how you get thrown in the dungeon? Somebody had to grab you to throw you in a dungeon. Who grabbed you? Oh, the guard. Oh, guard, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? But wasn't nobody rolling up on the guards. So later on, they came up with a plan and say, "Hey, man, we got to get the guards. We gotta trick them and get the guards out of here." But for the most part, hey, them guards was rolling through, bro. Yeah. It wasn't nothing you was gonna do about it. But my problem with the guards is everybody that's a guard, you following orders. When you follow orders for something that you know is wrong, but now let's just say you don't even know it's wrong. You just following the order. So everything that I tell you to do, you gonna do, period. So now I'm the one giving the orders. So now I'm the boss. I ain't gotta worry about nothing because whatever I tell these people, they gonna do. Problem is, what happens when they don't listen no more? And they team up and come get me because I'm just by myself. I ain't got no muscle because they my muscle. So my muscle cut out. Now what? Right. So when you in the military, you in a war, you know, the captain of the team get killed. The whole squad's supposed to stop, or they supposed to continue the mission. You know what I'm saying? You still go when if you lose your man, we got business to handle here. This is a job that needs to be completed, regardless who got killed here. It's a job. We got to finish this. And so unless we all die out and we couldn't complete it, you know what I'm saying?
And that usually goes to second in charge.
Yeah, somebody next man up, right? Always next man up. That's the next thing, right? So in another sense, what next man up is there to tell you to go commit some crime? You see what I'm saying? It'd be people in prison and stuff sending out orders and his, but in order to get that, like somebody has to follow that. But the people on the outside just follow it. What consequence is there if you stuck in jail? How are you gonna get me? The fear level was that high that manipulates the mind. Like that's a form. I feel like that's a form of brainwashing, yo. Like for you to tell me to send out an order that you're not even available for, and voila, they just carry it out. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of mindset that we have as human beings. Like for somebody to go say, dog, go take care of that for me. Okay, I got it. And you know what? It's some people ready. They ready to go actually commit the crime. Like, no, just tell me for nothing. It ain't got to be nothing. You ain't got to give me no nothing. Just say who, and I'm going. Ready. But you didn't come out the womb like that. So what I'm saying is the collective thing that we saying here is, again, when you teach that child, they know better, bro. You're not doing that later on in life. Even if you reach a point to where it may feel like, oh man, I gotta go join this. Nah, that ain't it. I don't have to.
Right.
But let's not get twisted. The togetherness and unity part, that's key. We gotta have that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But the crime committed, we can eliminate that. We ain't gotta do all that. We ain't gotta come with no guns. We ain't gotta come with no drugs. We ain't gotta do nothing. But what we will do is stand here in this unity, and that's what you can't deny. You can't stop a army of people, bro.
Right.
And the only way people are stopping anybody out here is through a weapon. So if you eliminate the weapon, what we got? We got people against people, and the real go outweigh the fake all the time. But the real is so hard to be convinced that they real. They don't even know what they got. You don't know who. How am I supposed to know who I am if you convinced me my whole life I'm something else?
That's why I say, man, it's the training. And then you have to.
Like, how do I break that train of thought if I'm already years in advance stuck into that?
Because if you keep telling yourself every day that you are not that person, and you put it into action, and you start to move different, you know, it's training the muscle. No different than lifting weight. You're just using your mind and training your mind. The mind is the muscle.
Yeah. A real muscle. The strongest muscle you got. Because everything is mental. Everything starts with your mind first. You got to believe. If you don't believe it, then it ain't going to happen.
What they tell you,
you got to have that faith. Got to have that faith, hope, belief, man.
Yeah, mind doesn't matter, man.
That's what it is. All right. So the next time I do a broadcast, it will be on YouTube. I just got verified for that. So the next time I launch this and go live, and it could be streamed live, period. Anybody can watch it. Also, I'm gonna get back on open the social wires back up and get back on there and just continue to grow with this, man. I don't know if I'm gonna do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, but definitely weekly or more than once a week. I might just come in here and talk myself sometimes about some things and just roll and talk about how I be, but I'm definitely going to be active in this. I'm definitely going to build my product, definitely going to get more things to make it bigger and brighter for people. Like I said, I got a backdrop coming, a green screen coming, and to be here Wednesday with 2 lights. So I got 2 lights coming with a green screen. I'm gonna be able to change my background, put whatever logo I want up, and I'll be able to do photo shoots, all of that. I want to be able to get that GoPro. That shooting 5K. Also, man, they got a better front viewing camera and back, so you can have different camera angles. But that probably be more so out on the road type of situation, where you can use the roadcaster with the GoPro. That makes sense for on location spots. Otherwise, I'm right here on the computer with this with the live stream, man, and that's just what it is. Or I can yeah, that's it. That's pretty much what it is. Or go Facebook Live, whatever live. This program allows me to stream live to multiple places. And outside of that, the roadcaster itself can upload podcasts directly straight to. I'm not recording on that at the moment. I'm just all live stream. So I don't have none of this audio. This is just straight what it is for the first joint. So that's cool.
It's a building process.
Mm-hmm. And we go build the mess out of it too. Build it as strong as the structure will allow. You know what I'm saying? And just keep it for the next people to have and roll on, 15 years from now, Angelo Tone, somebody be on here talking, giving up their game, like, shoot. Cuz had this prep. You know what I'm saying? Like we just came right in, whoop whoop.
Right.
So that's the dope part about it. That's what I like. And again, 3 hours rolling, definitely a strong cast. Sitting there talking for 3 hours, like most people ain't try to talk that long or be anywhere for that long, for that matter, listening to somebody.
Yeah, I definitely did not think I was gonna have a 3 hour conversation with you when I called you about
Fantasy.
football.
Right. Right.
And how I was getting mollywopped.
Right. And how I finally came up. That definitely was a cool situation there. Cool situation.
Ooh,
For the first time, I almost got everybody with that. I got everybody like almost asked. I had it laid out. That's for sure. I definitely had it laid out with the exception of 2 people and was so messed up. Didn't I ask for that 14 bag? I asked for a high bag out of my kicker. And guess what happened? Traded him up. And he ended up getting that 14 bag I was asking for. So I cheated myself by not sticking with what I had. And on top of that, that Pittsburgh D came through with that dub. They had a 22 for a minute. I said, that's why wasn't I just asking for that dub? You was like, you asking for a lot. I said, hey, man.
I told you.
You said they on steroids. They said them Steeler boys is rolling.
Man, they out there knocking heads off, bro.
That's crazy. Well, like I said, they was playing the Browns. I mean, you know, that's a Pennsylvania, Ohio thing, man. I think they that was one of them things, man. They like, nah, we gotta put the punch in, bro. And I think next week Le'Veon should be ready. You know.
Yeah, but you still gonna have to slow Le'Veon. You know, I mean, this what week 1, and he probably got there.
He'd be ready by week 11. That rematch. I need that rematch.
He'd be ready before then.
Well, we going into week 7 now. So, matter of fact, they probably go getting ready for week 8. Week 8.
Oh yeah,
that's the one. Week 8.
He gonna play week 7. Because this is what technically
week 6. So he could be ready.
Today's game was week 6. So Sunday, slow him, and then week 8 he'll be in the mix.
Oh, week 8. You know who they play week 8?
Who?
The Jets.
Oh, he's definitely gonna be ready week 8.
That's what I said. They prepping and getting ready. Like, okay, we see what's up. We about to set you up with the whole team.
You gonna see so many dump offs for Le'Veon.
Man, when they put the stat out there and said he ain't had a 20-yard run in a couple years, boy, I said, "Woo."
Yeah, he ain't had a good line in a couple years.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
Man, the Jets got a goose egg put on them by the Dolphins.
Yeah.
That's a goose egg.
Oh, your man had 3 TDs, huh?
Who? Kyler?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't enough. Cooper Kupp out here dropping touchdown passes.
It wasn't enough. Hell, to get you the fantasy win, but it was enough for them to beat the Cowboys. Goodness gracious.
Oh, yeah.
They out here 4-2. Oh, man. Like, what is going on? Oh, man.
Man, Mostert went out hurt at halftime.
You know what?
Down to one tight end.
For you to have been 5-0, the week for you to lose literally was the week where practically the whole team really pretty much did nothing. With the exception of just Kyler, dog. That was pretty much it. Like, Thielen gave you 14. Robbie bust you with the hot 11. I was like,
well, Thielen got 14 real late in the game. Because I'd say for 3 quarters he had 0 points. I watched Cooper Kupp drop a touchdown. I watched Jared Goff throw to the wrong shoulder. He throws to the back shoulder. Cooper Kupp think it's going to just a standard throw. He was in back of the cornerback, so it was a good 50-yard bomb, and they just couldn't connect. And it was like that the whole game. They couldn't connect. And when I seen Cooper Kupp not catch the ball and Mostert went out at halftime, I was like, bro, it's over. It's just over.
Hey, tell me T. Higg won that pickup.
Don't tell me about it.
Oh, man. I'm talking about he had 125 yards, man. Come on.
I told you. I said, hey, you need to get this guy.
Oh.
He was like, I'm thinking about getting this dude here. I said, no, you need to get this guy.
Hey, I picked up Fulcum too, man. Hey, he could be straight out here too. I'm tight, man. I'm gonna cut back strong. We good to go. Might have to
I told you that tight end was gonna drop off though.
That would happen to be that game. He might still be some good money. At the bare minimum, he could give me a replacement when Kelsey go out.
At the bare minimum, but I don't even think Kelsey going out. They already had their bye week.
Did they?
Yeah.
They didn't switch it in here.
Was the game wasn't that the game that got canceled?
Nah, they played it later that week.
They had another game that got canceled.
No, they played 6 weeks. Their next game against their bye week is 10. They were supposed to get canceled, remember? And they swapped it. They still went on. I think that was like last week. It was like the Tuesday game or something like that, didn't they?
No.
They did a Tuesday and a Monday.
That's Pittsburgh that got canceled. And that gave them their bye.
So that's gonna kind of screw me in a couple weeks because I'm gonna need a quarterback. Ooh, but we'll figure that out later. We got 3 people that I can shake around. So figure something out. Got a couple pieces on the bench I can work with, man. I should start winning some games here lately, man. I know that. Right. But I know you was feeling a little way about you didn't even lose on your.
Wait. Time out. You still got the podcast running?
Yeah, I'm still running. They got the title of fantasy football running across the bottom.
Oh yeah, you tripping.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and cut this short.
To worry about who?
Huh?
I felt to worry about who?
Your quarterback. Really, it wasn't a difference. They both put up a 30 ball, so he was good.
So far, I ain't got no worry about.
No, I said you couldn't have felt the way, but because they both put up a 30 bag. I was gonna say you might have felt the way about putting somebody in, but they both put up a 30, so it really didn't matter.
Yeah, and then too, who knew that Fuller was gonna have 24 points? Like Will Fuller. Who knew the Texans was gonna throw up that many points on the Titans? I should have known because they always play the Titans hard. But who knew? You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't know. I didn't even come up that much in the running game with that. That was only 13. Like
he had players that don't normally maybe get all the points that they got, but then he had stuff that like Aaron Rodgers ended up with like 4 points or 3 points or something. It was just a crazy week, man. And I'd have never thought that Cooper Kupp wouldn't have got 10 points.
Right.
If Cooper Kupp gets 10 points and Mostert gets standard running back points, so we'll call that anywhere from 10 to 12, probably about 12, I'd have been straight.
You'd have been straight.
And Evan Ingram started out the game so hot. And he had a quick 5 points. He didn't get nothing after
that. Zach Ertz said there were more of him. He went out the game.
He was out the game. My main tight end was hurt. No offense. You know, Jerry Jeudy ain't got a quarterback to throw to him right now. That quarterback is throwing to the guy that you got. You know why he's throwing to the guy that you got? Because that's who he's used to throwing to in practice. Because that guy was a second string wide receiver. The quarterback is a second string quarterback. Mm-hmm. So they're used to that connection. Whereas the first string wide receiver, Cortland Sutton, goes out. Well, who's the first string quarterback going to throw to next? He's going to throw to a tight end who he's used to throwing to for one, or he's going to throw to his rookie wideout because he's the first string wideout. I don't have none of that right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is, man. It's all right. Let's fight another day.
Yeah, man. With 5-1, that's pretty. Still at the top, baby. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you kicking it with me on my podcast, man. I Just Think Different podcast, man. Coming to hit you live every week around whatever time I decide to start. But check it out. Look for me. And we gonna be around and we gonna check you out.
All day, my brother. And you got perfect timing because I just got to the crib.